Ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back to the Locker Room Banter podcast show.
Well, the ladies are always welcome.
That they are. We are at episode 49,
Yes,
y'all.
sir.
Rocking and rolling and rocking, man. So let me first give y'all my quick social media so y'all know where to find me. That way you know where to go to get the latest information. That's going to be on Instagram, Anwar_357. That's ANWAR, the letter W underscore 357. Watts.
Yo, you already know who it is, man. This your boy Watts. You can come to you live and direct from the studio here in ATL, Georgia. You can hit your boy up on Instagram and Twitter at Watts number 4. That is WATTS number 4 on both Instagram and Twitter, man. Too.
Shit.
It's been a while, my brother.
Facts. Yeah, a couple weeks, just inside 2 weeks. Nothing too major, but we did say we were going to do better. I actually feel like we're doing better
We're
still.
doing a little better.
We're doing a little better. We're giving the people a little bit more to listen to. A little bit. Podcasting is becoming a new thing overall since everybody quarantined, and so I feel like everybody podcasting, our friends, our family, everybody doing it.
That's real. I mean, and I meant to tell you too, man. I'll be kind of private about what be going on and all that stuff. But now my auntie done leaked out. I think either my auntie or my uncle done leaked out to the moms.
What
So
you
moms
mean?
is tuning in.
Oh man! So I got to put a little filter on it.
Nah, ain't no filter, bro.
Bro.
Ain't no filter around here, man. We just out here.
Nah, that part. Nah, it don't matter. They know who we are anyway. So
For real,
anyway,
man.
as you see, we repping the alumni, the alma mater. I got the hat, my dog got the sweater on. So one quick shout out to the highest of Seven Hills, Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University.
Founded October 3rd, 1887. What?
That part.
I was like, oh, man. So you ain't even know that part. I just had to put you on that.
Here
But
you
either
go.
way it goes, man. Shout out to FAMU. By the time y'all hear this episode, it's going to be our birthday.
Yeah.
And we out here representing for the HBCUs. And it is also HBCU week as well. You didn't even know that.
That's
See?
why I threw that
Putting you on
plug out
game.
there. That's why we wearing this. See, look at the world. Look how God worked. He just had us wear our alumni
ain't know
shit.
no better. You
But
ain't know
yeah,
no
either
better.
way, we in there. Shout out to our university. 2 more days to make his birthday, so we rocking.
Rocking.
And most of our listeners are Rattlers, so therefore y'all know what time it is. Unfortunately, this week is not homecoming week.
Oh, this week was supposed to be homecoming week?
I think October 4th, which would
I
be
mean, I
Saturday,
don't know.
right?
Yeah, it would be Saturday.
I
I
think
don't
this
know.
weekend was supposed to be homecoming week. That sucks that we're 2020 is doing us like they're doing us, because we're supposed to be turning up right now. We're supposed to be having our homecoming episode or be in damn Tallahassee. Shit, maybe even recording there. You know what I mean?
True. Well, I actually didn't have any plans to go into homecoming because I wasn't gonna go to homecoming. But next year homecoming, that shit
Man.
gonna be lit.
Whenever-
Everybody. Matter of fact,
Hey.
I need to go ahead and start booking some rooms just to be.
Bruh, for real.
Be on the safe
Airbnb and
side.
some shit. Calling my people that live there, whatever I gotta do. You right. If we get back popping by next year, because honestly, the way 2020 going, I mean, we can all hope and wish that 2021 is gonna be so much better. But this shit might fucking carry over.
Your president said that that shit gonna be back to normal.
Shit, I know. And then they say
Bada
if Biden get in there, he's shutting this bitch down. So it's like either which way for the world, we looking pretty sus.
If you think about it, though, I mean, they say like if everybody just sit their ass down for 14 days, we'd probably be good.
Technically, yes, but is that possible?
I mean, of course it's not possible because we got niggas out here that want to go drifting in the mall and
I mean,
shit.
that's one thing, but also it ain't even just us. It's the organizations that tell our black ass to get the fucking work.
I mean, it's not even just us to work, but it's of course. Now when I say niggas, I'm not saying
I
just
understand.
black people. I'm saying ignorant motherfuckers,
Facts.
including white people who are out
Facts.
here that just want to like, nah, you can't tell me what to do. They gonna go out and
Of
do whatever
course.
the fuck they want.
Yeah, they have actually COVID parties. They're having some.
Oh, you saw that about the dude, about the college guy?
Yes, this dumbass, the one that tried to see how many people can catch it or some dumb shit like
No,
that.
there was one. There was one dude that was. I think I'm not sure if it was Ohio State or something where they had the they were having a party or whatever. Him and his roommates at the party had already got tested positive for COVID-19.
Shit, boy.
But still, they just had the party, and the
Yeah.
police was like, "Yo, you just got pulled up, got his ID, and like, yo, you just got tested positive. Why are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
having a party?" And I just seen like at least 30 people just come out of your house.
Now they all
And he was
gotta
like,
get,
so I mean, we're just here on
Nah.
our property. And like, nah, bro, that's still a legal gathering, bro.
white people being white people. But
And
anyway.
then there are also those parties that you just said, the COVID-19 parties where
Yeah.
they out are just like, we want to see how many people can catch it.
Yeah, see how many people can catch it, or see if it's a real thing, and a lot of people catch it. Like they'll have those big, what's the big paint party things that
The paint and sips.
no, the joints that y'all used to do, the when you fucking jumping around and all
Oh, the Juve parties.
that part, them little things.
Hey,
Yeah.
them shits was fun. Shout out to them all my Caribbean pet people and all that stuff going
Yeah.
out,
They
to
look
the
fun, I
carnival
ain't
and all
gonna
that
lie.
shit. That shit was fun. You never been to carnival, have you?
Nope.
Oh my god.
There's been any carnival. Only carnival I've
Oh
been to
my god.
was Carnival Cruise Line. taking me to the Bahamas.
You married, you might not need to go to Carnival.
Go ahead, take a weekend off the wedding. Oh, I can take a weekend off.
You might not need to go to Carnival, bro. I promise you. There's a meme out, and I had posted it the other day that said, once an island woman started dancing on you, she
I seen that shit.
Take your soul.
I seen that shit. It's real though, bro. It's real. Like just haven't been out and about. Just think about your Tallahassee days in the Caribbean women that we knew out there.
You think that was bad.
Well, I'm just saying that alone, they separate themselves just from your typical Miami, Lauderdale, Jacksonville, whatever. With that, so imagine when you're out there. Like,
oh my God,
I've been to Jamaica a couple times, but again, it was with the wife, so no, I didn't get to test that side of it.
This is literally straight fucking with clothes on.
Man, shit.
Literally, it don't matter the party, whether it's a Juve, whether it's actual Carnival, whether it's they got so many different parties. It's because it's literally depending on which carnival you go to. And when I went to Carabana, that's also a great one as well.
That's
it's literally
Canada, right?
Yeah, it's literally a party non-stop for at least like 7 days, bro. Boy. Non-stop meaning that you leaving the club to go to the after party. You're leaving the after party to go to the morning party. You're leaving the morning party to go to the day party. Yo, that's what I mean by non-stop.
It was crazy. As people listen to that, you be like, oh, I need to see what that's about. Think about what he just said. It's non-stop fucking partying. Do you know how many naps we be needing right now just for regular partying?
Everybody be like, I gotta get my 15, 20-minute nap in.
Bro, I wouldn't do it. I'll be honest. Because I said the same shit just going to Vegas. And everybody knows how Vegas is. You lose all your fucking sleep on the plane. And then, the whole jet lag thing. By the time I got to Vegas, it was like 10 at night. Mind you, in our time back here, that's really what? 1 in the morning or some shit like that?
About 3-4 hours behind us.
Yeah, so 1 in the morning. So everybody's like, let's hit the strip. I'm like, bro, it's 1 in the morning. In my mind, my body's telling me it's 1 in the morning. I need a fucking nap. Because technically, I'm in the bed at this time.
You doing it wrong. You supposed to either get your sleep in on the plane.
I tried. Shit.
Or you supposed to be getting drunk on the plane, so that way when you get off, you already have that energy. You're doing it wrong, bro. You're doing it wrong.
However it went, it didn't work. So in other words, I had missed like the first 2 hours of my Vegas time, and then I hit the strip.
There was a time in Vegas, and I went out there with Jerry. Shout out Jerry. Eric was there too. Jerry was there. Eric was there. Ronnie was supposed to be there, but he had backed out. You remember? I think this is around the time I had planned to go for my birthday, me and Ronnie's birthday, but then Ronnie didn't show up because he had backed out. Him and Travaris backed out last minute.
What?
Shout out to them bitch ass niggas.
That's not during fight year.
This wasn't during that fight year. I did go during that fight year too.
Yeah.
But this one wasn't during the fight year. Maybe it was.
Because your birthday always falls when Mayweather
It was
had a
during fight
year.
It was during the last Mayweather fight on Cinco de Mayo weekend, and we went out there. And when I landed. I don't remember what the fuck. We was just, it's hard for me to get drunk. It was hard for me to get drunk. I promise you, bro, I was so lit.
Yeah.
Like, it's 3:00 in the morning. All I remember is Jerry and them on a bridge, and I'm just walking down the street, going in my own direction, doing my own thing. Because they trying to call it a night, and I'm like, no, I'm out here.
You sound like Rito, man. Because that's how Rito was when we was out there, man. We was all like, hey, bro, this shit over with, bro. Let's just charge the first night to the game. He was like, no, we not doing that. Let's just keep going. I'm like, it got to the point you seen women just stumbling with their slippers in their hands because their feet was hurting for walking so long. Lit, I remember I hit 30,000 steps in that first day. I won't even out there the whole day. 30,000 steps on my Apple Watch.
That's the thing about Vegas, though. Vegas is great. It's a good party time. If you're a gambler, it's probably even better. I'm not a gambler, so it was cool. But after 3-4 days, that's it. I can't do it.
We had a discussion on the plane, and it was some women and some dudes, and they were describing Vegas to somebody who had never been. And he was like, Vegas is somewhere you don't want to be more than 48 to 72 hours. Yeah. The ladies were like, speak for yourself. I've been here 60 years. But, she was a local, you know what I mean? So
I went out there one time with Elena and them, and I think that was probably the longest stint, maybe like 5 days. And I was just like, bro, I'm just done. I'm just done. We're doing the same thing. We're just walking down the strip. Walking down the strip. We're going to get some more drinks. That's about it.
Yeah, it's only.
Especially if it ain't pool party season, it's so boring.
Yeah, I know, bro. I went during pool party season the first 2 times, I think. The other time was no, I think they were all during pool party season, so it was perfect. So it was pretty cool. But I wanted to go with the wife because I wanted to do the whole magic show and the fake celebrity show, all that kind of stuff.
I've never made it.
I want to see that part of it.
I want to see that part of it too.
But I'm not doing that with the fellas. Like when we go out, we doing bar crawls and we doing all kind of crazy shit. So Yeah, but nah.
I still have never made it to a show. That everybody keep asking me, well, how did you do it? How
Yeah, it
was
was
the
a Michael
show?
Jackson show. It was the damn David.
I've
Yeah,
never made it to not one show.
nah, I haven't either.
One of my friends did. One of my homegirls that I went out with, they went to the Chippendale show, and I was like, well, I'm going to the pool party.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Over
y'all
the
have
area.
fun. I'm taking my ass to the pool party,
Yep.
but Vegas is a vibe, but it's nothing like Carnival. I promise you that much.
Nah, I can believe it.
Carnival
I
is
still
on
want to see.
is on a whole nother level.
Yeah, my sister, she used to frequent the carnival. Well, first she started with the Labor Day parade in New York, the typical Brooklyn one. But she's Trini, my older sister, so she would always go down straight to first to Miami for years. She would go to Miami and do the carnival down there. But then she upgraded and just went to the one straight in Trinidad. So she goes straight to Trini and does that.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna break you in easy. Pause.
Super pause.
I'm gonna break you in easy. When they start having like the Caribbean parties up here, the Caribbean parties, however you pronounce it, when they start having like igloo and all that stuff up here, I'm gonna take you to one of them. I just want you to see. I just want to see, and Monique gonna have to
I
understand.
was gonna
bro,
say my wife trusts you again, so we should be straight. You know what I mean?
Now, but yeah, no, I
you,
promise you, bro, you're gonna be like, what the fuck, bro? Like they
I
don't
love
care.
her.
You remember, you know how we always say like we miss house parties and we miss people actually dancing.
Yeah.
That's the only scene now that people are actually just, we don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. We out here dancing. We don't care if we get wet, because people out here throwing water bottles or squirting water bottles of drink on them. We out here dancing. We out here having a good time. That's the only atmosphere now in this day and age that I could think of where it's no hold,
Yeah.
whatever, no hold bars or whatever.
Yeah, I understand. No
Like
hold bar.
you just
That made me
time.
just miss the early years on the hill. So before we get too much into that, I'm gonna say shout out to the homie who we just spoke about, Angie and Shayla, because I think that's what we need to do. We need to make that next episode like a reminisce episode. You know what I'm saying? We might even do like a play a tally ho episode or something like that. Bring them in. They can give us the women perspective of it and whatnot. I mean, we kind of lived a similar, life on the hill.
I don't know what they live. I know they might have lived a little bit more lavish than us.
Yeah, they did a little more lavish
because this was
we were on the same.
This was
scene
Miss Miami. This was
Miami.
Loving Hip Hop before Loving Hip Hop. Like
and
it was Flavor Flav, wasn't
Flavor
it?
Flav, yeah.
It
Flavor
was
of Love.
Flavor of Love. Flavor of Love.
Yeah, my dog made a name for herself up there.
Yeah.
Literally a name for herself from the
Miss
show.
Miami, man.
But nah, we're gonna have my dog Miami on the next one with Shayla, because they got their podcast going as well, and they popping off. Oh man. So I mean, that's another thing. Like I said, the podcast move is going everywhere.
Podcast move is going everywhere. I mean, there's a lot of big moves going on. I mean, I think Apple Music did make some good big deals with a lot of Apple Music, with a lot of different podcast things going on. Of course, I know you're not necessarily a listener, but a lot of our listeners are listeners of the Joe Budden podcast, and they deal with Spotify. But there's a lot of different podcasts that's popping up. Shout out to Open Bar Radio. I believe they're supposed to be recording sometime soon. So shout out to Ronnie and Dallas and Keosha. They're supposed to be back at it again, man. The podcast game's popping. And if y'all have any sponsors or anything y'all want to send over to players,
I'm trying to tell you.
Send them over to your boy.
And the name of the podcast is Brains and Beauty ×2. So yeah, shout out to y'all's podcast, Shayla and Angie. We're gonna definitely stay tuned on that, because we all trying to make moves in this podcast life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, anyway, shit. Enough about us. What's popping out here in these streets?
Well, number one thing, what do we want to start at? Do you want to start with the number one topic that's kind of going off right now, which is the presidential debate?
Yeah, let's bore them with that first, because it honestly wasn't much to talk about except fucking. I mean, we argue less than that, and we fucking argue.
How you gonna say it ain't much to talk about? But you
know
didn't
what
watch
I mean.
it.
I watched enough of it to understand. Honestly, you already knew what it was gonna be.
I knew that you wasn't gonna watch it. That's what I knew.
Because I knew I couldn't deal with no 2 hours of that man talking. Period. But no. Anyway, you can speak on it just to give from what you watched.
So this past, was it Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember. It was Tuesday because it wasn't no sports on, so that's the only reason why I remember. And on Monday night, there was the Ravens in Baltimore. Had their Monday night football game, which was a great game. We're going to get into that a little bit later in our sports segment, ladies and gentlemen. So please hold on. But Tuesday night, we had the very first presidential debate with Joe Biden and Donald Cheeto Face. We've talked about this in the past on previous episodes about how Donald. And I'm gonna call him Donald because I support Donald Duck.
This fool here.
Donald, he doesn't debate. He argues, and and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but in my when I think of a debate, I'm thinking of someone who's going to answer questions, and provide you with feedback of how they're going to resolve said question or answer said question. Donald doesn't do that. All he does is banter. That's the reason why we came up with the name of this podcast. So when we first started this podcast, Anwar came up with the locker room banter podcast, because he felt like all this guy does is create banter. So that's kind of how we came up with the name. Because all we gonna do, really, honestly, when we having a conversation, we're not really having a conversation. We're just creating banter between homeboys.
That's it. Pretty much the size of it, yeah.
So what ended up happening was they had a 90-minute debate in Ohio, and it was just a little bit of everywhere. Donald just kind of he basically was trying to attack Biden and let Biden know that he's not fit into the position, and Biden was trying to defend himself, and I think they both made themselves look childish, because even though I don't necessarily fault Biden, again, there are two different parties that's running right now: Donald and Mike Pence, who are running for the Republicans, and we also have Joe Biden and Kamala Harris running for Democrat. Joe just didn't convey. I believe he didn't convey any message at all.
Well, did he get an opportunity to?
He didn't get an opportunity to, and that's the point where I was kind of saying, well, Donald just wanted to create banter and just made it seem like Joe wasn't fit for the position of president. So, I mean, it was just a little bit everywhere. It was all over the place, and it was just sloppy. Even the moderator, who was just trying to be peacemaker between, Donald was even attacking him from the beginning. Like within the first 5 minutes, he's like, "Am I here to debate? Am I here to debate Joe, or am I here to debate you?" And it was just all over the place. And the moderator couldn't even get 2 minutes in. He couldn't get his time in. But one of the highlight points is that Donald would not renounce the white supremacist groups. So I'm gonna give you. I'm headed off to you. Let's get your thoughts on that.
With that being said, I mean that is definitely probably the top point where a main question came up, because again he's like Watt said, he wouldn't give Biden a chance to speak at all, let alone answer any questions at the what do you call the guy again? The moderator that asked. So every time he tried to answer, he would try to give an answer, and Trump would cut him off. Biden was, trying to allow it because he really wanted to answer, but certain things he just couldn't. He just had to defend himself on. But when they finally got to the point of, okay, will you denounce white supremacy and whatnot, he was like, okay, I can do that. He's like, well, do it. Even the moderator was like, well, say it, do it. They all looked at him, and then Trump got quiet and was like, what do you want me to call? Give me a name. What do you want me to call? And he said, white supremacists is what they are. What we really need to be paying attention to is the left wing. And he just went completely left on the whole conversation. Actually, his first words were stand by. What he said, stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by. Now, come on now. Those words, even though I don't know how he meant to say it, how it was said, but when he was speaking about the white supremacists. He was like, stand back and stand by. Pretty much y'all on call. You know what I'm saying? I got y'all. Just, stand back, stand by. We'll get to that later. Hey, but what we really need to focus on is this left wing. He completely went away from the question. It was an easy question. All he had to do was say, yes, I denounce it. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was just that simple. But he could not bring himself to say that because he knew, you know what I'm saying, hey, that's who he's rooting for. That's who he's pushing. So anyway, that was just one of the main points that he couldn't do. I think he had a follow-up where he tried to answer the question to the public, like, either hours later or the next day, just in a regular old conversation. But it still didn't go well at all either.
There was just a lot of and I'm gonna actually play the audio. Let's see. I think I found the audio for us to kind of go ahead and to kind of talk about it a little bit. I just want to kind of hear your thoughts on how this went. Okay.
Copy that.
Stand down and not criticize the vice president for not specifically calling out Antifa and other left-wing extremist groups. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland.
Sure,
Are you
I'm willing
prepared
to
to
do that,
specifically
but
do it?
I
Go
would
ahead,
say
sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see
Well,
peace.
then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. You want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name.
supremacists and
Who would
white
you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud
militia.
Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about it.
So yeah, man.
Stand back and stand by. Stand back and stand by. Like, you know what? Stand back is like, I mean, almost like he wanted to start doing it, but it's just stand by. Next subject. You know what I mean?
That basically sounds like we ain't going to war yet.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that was one of the biggest points that was brought up. And again,
And then there were also another point that was brought up was about ballots that's going absentee ballots that's kind of being mailed out right now. I actually got my absentee ballot. I remember I had a conversation. I was like, "Yo, I requested an absentee ballot like long ago." I actually got my absentee ballot maybe last week, and I actually went ahead and did my vote and sent it back. But Joe Biden was like, you know, if once you request your absentee ballot and once you get it in, please send it back as early as possible because the later that you send it back in, that means that the later that your vote may get counted, or later that it may not even get counted, or something's going to come up. And Trump kind of went on a rant basically about how he doesn't believe that the absentee ballot system works. He basically just said that if he doesn't win, something's wrong.
Something's wrong. Yeah,
So,
pretty much.
Yeah.
And he said something similar like that, honestly, with in the Hillary election.
Uh-huh.
Like, if I don't win this, it's because of this and that and the third. And like, hey man, he won obviously, but no. Anyway.
Yeah. So that means that brings up a lot of questions about what's going on with the absentee ballot.
Yeah.
So if you're a registered vote, please make sure that you're monitoring what's going on with your ballot.
First and foremost, please check those licenses. If you are out there voting, check your license because this is something I've dealt with for many years where I was always behind on my address matching, my license. You remember this time we had discussions in the past. I used to have a Florida address for years living in Georgia, which would make it very hard for me to go through this process. But even before that, or after that rather, I had an old apartment address on my license. Mind you, I've been in my home for like 5-6 years. And it wasn't until as of recent that I actually updated my license to have my address match. It's something you're supposed to do in the first 30 days of moving, but you wouldn't believe how many people don't do it. You know what I mean? Like
I didn't update. Well, I updated my address. I just had a Florida license.
You still?
Before I moved to this house, I had a Florida license.
I remember.
And the main reason why I kept my Florida registration is because my aunt, shout out to Daisy Lynham, was running for office back in Florida. So I would request an absentee ballot every now and then just to make sure I continue to vote for her. And even before Travares got elected, I made sure I voted for Travares before I just went ahead and transferred my stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why, because I had family members back in Florida. I wanted to make sure I had to vote for them. But when you're correct, once you move, you are able to, you're supposed to update your address 30 days. And my address was still up to date. It just was the Florida license.
Yeah,
I don't know how to. Trust me,
you said,
they allow me to do it. So
because I did that as well. Remember, for the first about 5 years here in Atlanta, I had the same thing where they're like, "How do you have a Florida address a Georgia address on your Florida license?" I'm like, "Well, as long as you do it online, it's your system."
Exactly. Hey. Once you buy a home, though, you actually have to.
You have to. That's when I did it. When I got my home, I was forced to do that. Even with a Florida number, which I had for a while, I was forced to change to a Georgia number when I had a certain job made me do that. But yeah, definitely check those licenses. Make sure the address matches where your home is at the current time. And as Watt says, the earlier the earlier you can be counted if you're out there voting.
Yeah, man. So please make sure y'all register to vote because this is the toughest time for us to, the toughest election that we're probably gonna have to have right now. Whether it's either having your vote counted at all, or whether it's voting to just get this guy out of the office. Okay. I do want to say one point, and I'm probably going to get a lot of slap at this. Last week, you got canceled because you was talking about Beyonce last time. I think I might get canceled this time, dog.
Uh-oh. What you got to say?
So after the debate, I've stayed up for about an hour or so later just to kind of watch the post-debate stuff that was going on. The fact check guy on CNN, the fact check guy on Fox. And it's funny when the contrast that you kind of see when you're watching Fox News versus CNN. But I stayed up on CNN. Kamala Harris came up. And she did like a follow-up thing for these stations, just to kind of see how. I guess they want to see her view on how Biden did in the debate. she did not help Biden's case, and it kind of
Damn.
worried me a little bit. And I know that a lot of people are gonna be like, "Well, she's a black woman. You out here attacking a black woman."
Nah, they won't. I mean, if you have a valid reason, then hey, it's your fucking
But
reason.
I'm
Shit.
just saying, dawg, she didn't sell me on anything as well. There was a question in particular. I'm trying to think of what the question was. Um, there was I can't remember exactly what the question was, but there was a question in particular where she basically gave the same exact answer that Joe Biden gave, and it didn't give me any confidence as well. And I don't know, her personality just didn't stick out to me. The next debate that's supposed to be coming up is supposed to be the vice president's debate with Mike Pence and Kamala Harris. I'm a little worried because I do feel like Mike Pence going to attack her, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure if Kamala could take it. But I think this upcoming Wednesday, which is the 15th or something like that.
Oh, that's next week.
Yeah, this next week. So let me see. Let me
Because
get
today's the
actual
first,
date.
so that's 2 weeks.
No, let me get the
So
date.
the 15th Thursday is a Thursday.
So the 15th is Thursday,
So is it the 14th?
and on the 7th, that's when that
Oh, so next week. Okay.
vice president debate is supposed to be. So I'm rooting for Kamala. I'm rooting for Biden. I want him to kind of show up strong. But I do feel like Pence may give a little bit more mature debate than what Donald did.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, we'll
and
probably
yeah,
hear
yeah.
more about them. I mean, it's just like in the work industry where your assistant, I mean, we've been assistants before, does more work than the actual manager or more than the actual supervisor. So therefore, you're going to probably get the best of it from them.
Is that? But I don't know if that's the case when it comes to the president, though.
I would hope not. But I mean, I think that we still may. Just,
I mean, I get what you're saying.
yeah, because usually they're the ones that, do the dirty work, have the most knowledge because they're the ones bringing everything to
Well,
them.
the ones that do the most dirty work, and shout out to the senators and again, the commissioners and all that stuff, and shout out to Javaris again, is those lower level stuff. Like I said, the Senate, the the state of representatives, those are the ones who actually do the work. And then, oh, that was the question. The question was about expanding the judges if they don't get the judge that they want in office that replace, who was it that just passed?
John Lewis.
No. There was the lady judge that just passed.
Oh, I thought you meant.
Dang, you suck. You suck. Anwar doesn't know.
Oh
anything.
shit! When it comes to politics, yeah, damn right. I don't know about that. Thought I had one there. Sorry. Thought I was bringing it on home.
Dang, bro. But there was a judge that just passed, a Supreme judge that just passed, and there's only like 7 seats, and that's what they're kind of going on right now, the kind of debate, and that's what it was. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She died at the age of 87, and she served on the Supreme Court, and there's like 7 seats, I believe. But right now, since she did pass, Donald gets the opportunity to place whoever he wants in that seat.
Gotcha.
So the question that was asked to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris was, if such and such that you do not like, I don't necessarily know the person's name, gets selected to this seat, do you guys, and you guys win the election, do you guys have plans to expand the Supreme Court judges? And neither one of them will give a direct answer on that.
Yeah, that was brought up, I think, in the debate as well, because they were asking. Biden made a point. He was like, usually we get a chance to all judge. The people get a chance to not judge, to vote, come together, decide. But because we're already in the process of debate and election, he just gets to play somebody. So that's not fair. In other words, what he's saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand his concern there. He should. I mean, that's where the decisions are being made at that level. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. And I want to give a shout out to Ruth Bader Ginsburg because she also did a lot of stood up for a lot of women's rights as well. And she done a lot in her 87 years here with us. So shout out to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You are definitely a legend. You're definitely appreciated for the work that you've done. And we know that that guy that's in office right now doesn't necessarily like you per se, but we appreciated everything that you've done. So yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Baby Roots. I mean, a candy bar been rocking
This
for a
guy,
minute
I
too.
knew you was about to say something.
But like
ignorant as hell.
Anyway, but yeah, definitely. I didn't know enough about her to act like I have this big, thank you, but yeah.
All right, we bored y'all with the politics.
Facts,
we about to get into the shits, man. I do want to before we go ahead and get into music, I do want to get you some intakes on some shit.
All right, what you got?
Right. I gotta find it real quick because there is this guy out here who's doing who's doing impressions.
Not the Kevin Hart one.
Yeah,
That motherfucker that is funny as fuck, boy.
Dog, this guy, his name is Suave Hart on Instagram. He's been known on TikTok for a while now, I guess. But he kind of went viral over the past couple of weeks because of his Kevin Hart impression.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play a little bit of it, just a little bit.
And
for the
tell me
people
you don't
quick.
hear his voice only.
Your gym membership is Kevin Hart. Let's do it.
Thank you for calling O2 Fitness. Press 1 for new members.
Calling O2 Fitness Racing Drive. This is Ebony. How may I direct your call?
I was actually hoping to talk to someone about a gym membership.
This nigga.
Nailed
You
it.
can talk to me about a gym membership.
Okay, Ebony, this is Kevin Hart. I'm in town for the weekend. I was actually thinking about getting a gym membership, just something short term. I don't need nothing long, maybe like 2 or 3 days. I'm only in town for a few days, so I'm actually gonna fly out soon. So I was actually thinking, do you guys do celebrity discounts?
Celebrity discount?
Yes, ma'am. Come on, Ebony, it's Kevin Hart. Me and you, I know you already feel the vibe.
Oh my gosh, is this Kevin Hart for real?
This is actually Kevin Hart. I wouldn't lie about that. Swear to
Oh
God.
my god, I think it's Kevin Hart.
It is Kevin
Oh
Hart.
my,
How you
it
doing?
is Trayvon. It's him. Oh my gosh.
It is. How you doing?
It's him. I'm doing good.
Swear to God, I love
know-
you. Can you repeat that one more time? I'm so sorry.
Okay, my boss said if you want to come in here for 2 to 3
Right
days,
now.
2 to 3 days
Okay.
to work out, you got to come in right now.
I have to come in.
here right now.
I just got in town. I gotta unload my bags and everything. Dwayne
No
Johnson.
way. Come down. No. You got to come. You done called us on the phone. You got to come here.
Okay,
Let me see you.
Okay, so basically you just want to see me. That's all you had to say.
No, I want to see you, but my boss is standing right here. We gonna hook you up. We are huge fans, dude. I'm telling you. You come here right now. We're gonna hook you up.
That's unbelievable. Look,
I'll pay for your 3-day pass. I'll pay for it if you come here
I'll
right
pay
now.
for
you'll pay
it.
for my 3-day pass. Me and Dwayne Johnson, you'll pay for both of our passes.
Dwayne Johnson, he's not with you. Stop.
Dwayne will be in town tomorrow morning.
Dwayne will be here tomorrow morning.
He's my trainer. Somebody got to train me.
Dog, they had me fucking rolling, bro. Like
Yeah. He
the
nailed
kid,
it.
the kid nailed it, bro.
nailed
He
it.
fucking killed that shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if you just not look at it, like I wasn't looking, I was listening, and it just makes you like have chills. Like, man, he's probably one of the best ones I've seen in the last few years.
I've never actually heard an impression, like somebody doing an impression of Kevin Hart, but that shit was spot on.
Yeah, me neither. Like, I think I've heard Jay Farrell attempt, and
Jay Farrell, for some reason, yeah, I'm about to say Jay Farrell's not. He could do the Jay-Z joint, I get it, but it's not. He's overrated to me.
He's very overrated to me. I don't even want to go down this road because this is not what we're here for, to talk about the people that suck. But I think he just nailed the Denzel and the Will Smith. Everyone else is a force. You know what I mean? To me, and everyone has their good ones. You know what I'm saying? Where they nail it, and everything else they just assume that okay, you could do anybody, do this person.
Yeah.
No, he nailed those two, and that's it. Just like
So-
Ari Spears and the Jay-Z. He nailed the Jay-Z.
So to your point, I want you to hear his Terrence Howard. Have you heard that one yet?
No, I haven't.
All right, tell me if it's spot on or if it's spot off.
All right, what you got?
Oh, I'm finna do this for Empire, man. Cookie and Hakeem matches. Let's go, man. Let's call Hooters, man.
Hooters in Greensboro. How may I help you?
Hey, yes, man. This is Lucius Line, man. You guys taking walk-ins right now?
Yes, we are.
Y'all taking walk-ins right now? Good, because, baby, I'm so hungry. I can feel my damn stomach touching my ribs, man.
Well, you better come get in here and get you some food.
Y'all got ribs, man?
Nah, man, we ain't got no ribs.
You ain't got no ribs for me, man.
Nah, man, we got some wings for you.
Got some wings for me, little baby.
And we got some burgers if you want that. A little bit of seafood.
I'm loving your vibe right now, baby.
Thank you.
Let me tell you something. You know Cookie, baby?
Cookie.
From Empire, baby. Come on, man.
So, I think he nailed maybe Lucius Lyon, but he didn't nail Terrence Howard, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can hear it, and but it was a reach. He had to use all of his lingo in order to make it make sense.
I think he kind of messed it up by trying to be Lucius Lyon.
Yeah, exactly. He could have just been Terrence.
Yeah, he should just been Terrence and I think that's why he messed
But
it
he
up.
sound like Hustle and Flow Terrence more than anything.
But the cat talented, man. I
he
thought
good.
it was talented, man. I want to applaud him, man. His name is Suave. What is his name? I don't remember. No. Suave Hart. I think he just kind of. I think he might have just switched that shit just because Kevin
of
Hart
his name,
situation.
yeah.
I don't know, but whatever.
No, but that's cool, man. Everybody got a little talent. He got one. Let's hope he could make something of it, because that's how a lot of people get started. Something that damn simple.
Yeah,
Shit,
man.
look at the whole Wild and Outcast.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And
One thing.
shout out to the Wild 'N Out cast. I think B. Simone was one of the ones that was on fire for basically stealing the book. I think they was saying.
What the fuck? Yeah, you know what, bro? Me and my wife spoke, and I'm like, I don't know what she did, who she is, why she's on here. Now,
They were saying that she had because she came out with a book earlier this year, and literally the book was side by side a copy of somebody else who had created the same book, basically. But she's got her other hustles. She got her makeup line, I believe, and some other cosmetic stuff like clothes. She was ambassador for Savage Fenty
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
and like, who's the Asian girl? What the fuck does she do? The little one
Asian
that can
girl.
barely speak. That's super super thick, but nasty thick with it.
Is that the Mimi chick? I think
sounds
she
about
used to be
right.
on Love and Hip Hop.
Okay, she
She
just
used to be on Love
aggravates
and
me
Hip
to
Hop.
talk.
Yeah, she's not funny.
Not at all. She
She's
has.
not funny.
I don't know what the fuck.
And there's
she did
another
for-
girl that's like everybody kind of like go crazy over because she's a viral comedian on Instagram. Pretty V,
That skinny one.
Pretty V. She's not funny to me at all.
That skinny one, right?
bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's not
Yeah.
funny to me at all.
She's
man.
extra as fuck. She's like
She's
the
just
fucking
extra as fuck.
the Marlon Wayans of the show.
Yeah, she be on Desi Bank page doing like the little skits, how hood niggas doing all that shit. But
Yeah.
anyway, she's not funny. Anyway, that's all. That's what I got, man, for some shits. You got any more shits over there before we get into music?
Shit. No, actually, I don't. There's not much shit's taking place. I'm sure there are, but right now it sounds like the music world is where the shits is. You know what I'm saying?
The music world is where the shits is. So does that mean we need to go ahead and jump into
Right
the
to it.
hottest topic right now?
Right to it. Right to it.
You want to give the introduction, or you want me?
Yeah, I got you. So right now it seems like okay. Wait, I don't even know what day it dropped.
So Friday. See, this is why I
Friday.
said, do you want me to get an introduction? Because you
You
said
got it, because I was gonna go into it, but I wanted to be precise on my release date.
All right, so let's go ahead and let me give the exact date. I guess we could give the exact date. So the exact date is on Friday, September 25th. No. Yeah, September 25th. You know,
About a week ago.
about a week ago. Then your guy, what is his new name? Tory Lanez, aka Daystar, which is his real name, finally emerged from the depths after this situation that occurred with him and Megan Thee Stallion a couple months ago. He basically went on Instagram and basically made a post that said, you know, everybody has their story, but you know, I try to stay quiet about it. But today I got time, so I'm about to talk about it. When he made this post on his Instagram, he basically made everyone think I made an allusion to that he was going to go live because he's known for going live on Instagram. So everybody kind of stayed up till midnight, the time that he posted for his live. However, about 5-10 minutes before his live, before midnight, which was the time, on Thursday he actually made that post. So not on the 25th that he made the post. On 24th he made the post. On Thursday about him going live at midnight on the 24th. So about 5-10 minutes before, he made another post of dropping that he's going to drop a song. That's what everybody thought it was just a song. Dropping at midnight in 5 minutes. He just made a post of album cover art, dropping in 5 minutes. So on 25th, September 25th, comes out that he actually dropped an entire album instead of going live, which kind of deceived everybody a little bit. So people was kind of upset about it, going back and forth like, nigga, is you going live or not? And the nigga never went live. But he dropped a 17-track album, basically trying to explain the entire situation. I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, so I think it's 18 tracks, honestly. But yeah,
I
the
haven't
album
heard
called Daystar. Somebody actually just threw it out to me. They was like, y'all fucking with Tory, because they know we do the podcast, and they know sometimes we condemn people that have done wrong to the community, our community. And I was like, honestly, shit, I still fuck with Tory. You know what I mean? So they was like, well, if the album banging. If you listen to the album, it'll give you some answers. You know what I'm saying? Perspective. His perspective, something that we have never gotten still. You know what I mean? And if you remember our last episode or two when we did speak about it, we said we're yet to really get anything from him. We got things from his team a little bit. We've got word from different blogs. We've got people that's so-called in his camp that'll say things, but we haven't had anything from him.
So let's back it up.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought about this. And we need to get some context. We probably need to get into this a little bit. So, on the 24th, maybe the 23rd, the city of Louisville came out and gave out the verdict of not even the verdict, but what is it? What's the guy's name? Whatever. The DA, the district attorney of Louisville, came out and who was investigating Breonna Taylor's case, came out and announced that there will be no trial for this
Yeah.
case. There was one officer
Charge.
that was charged, but it wasn't necessarily charged for the murder of Breonna Taylor. It was more so charged for negligence for
endangerment.
shooting. Yeah, wanton invasion and shooting in the shooting in an apartment that actually, and the bullet actually going over to another apartment, which is stupid. But with that verdict, with that decision being made, there was, of course, a whole bunch of commotion, a whole bunch of emotional upset. A lot of people, rioting, not even necessarily rioting, protesting, still because we want justice for Breonna Taylor. That was on the 24th. That was on the 23rd, I believe. And then a day later, this is when Tory Lanez came out with this album.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, as he said, so a lot of that was already one thing that was I can't say a strike against him, but that's something he caught a lot of slack about. They're saying the timing was horrible. Like, you had a couple months to talk about it, but you waited to that, and then just so happened to be the day of or day after that verdict came out, where we're still trying to let our voices be heard to put attention onto that because of how that ended, or how that everything went down. His album dropped. I actually have a lot to say about that. What I have to say about that is, okay, he can't help that he wanted to release that album when he wanted to release it. It had nothing.
let's get to the slat first. We're gonna get to your point in the set.
Okay.
So the slat first was one, he released the album the day after this decision was made by Breonna Taylor. Two, of course, the big problem is, black woman just got killed. A black woman just got killed, and there's no justice for this black woman. Two, you shot a black woman. Three, you're releasing an album the day after a black woman didn't get justice. Trying to defend yourself, that's saying that you didn't shoot a black woman. And Rick Ross even came out and just said, I'm gonna go ahead and play this real quick.
All right.
Just out of respect for
Dang, come on.
Taylor, brother. We gotta respect the poor decision, brother. Dropping that project. Just out of respect for Breonna Taylor. Just out of respect for Breonna Taylor, brother. We gotta respect these sisters. That ain't how you address the accusations you're facing with the sister. That was a poor choice, homie. You ain't getting no money with that shit.
So that was Rick Ross' response, and then Tory Lanez responded by saying, "I respect you too much as a black man to disrespect you in these times. However, I went out and marched in your city for 9 days straight for Breonna Taylor and didn't see the boss. Also, stop tagging endorsements in the posts about her. It's a poor decision, my brother." Which Rick Ross even responded to that by saying,
First off, little boy, I appreciate how you respond.
I gotta go back. I gotta back up.
Little
So
boy.
before Tory Lanez responded, Rick Ross had walked outside his house, his mansion. He said, he posted a little small ass smart card. Was like, I got a gift for Tory Lanez for this double plastic ass album that he just dropped.
Damn.
And it was a little small ass smart car, and that kind of fueled Tory Lanez to kind of go ahead and give a response, which gave Rick Ross his response. Come on now.
That's what you owe her family. That's what you owe the black women in the world.
Dang, it just went away.
Damn, that shit's crazy as hell. I didn't know all of that was going on.
It was a lot, bro. It was a lot.
I love some rose. Who don't?
Earned it swiftly, the rose, but that's how you should have did the sister that accused you of shooting.
I'm gonna let it play again when it come back around.
That's what you owed her family. That's what you owed all the black women in the world. Just that accusation alone. She was in your presence, but that's between y'all. But more importantly, let's get to you protesting. You ain't protesting Miami. Only reason you was out there is because your condo that you stay in $1,500 a month, damn protest was coming right down there. So you went down and took a photo out. That's cool. Let's don't insinuate that. Go out your way for the sisters. Poor Decisions is putting together an album and trying to profit off some shit people like myself was to hear you address this shit and move on. Not get a whack song or a whack album that ain't gonna get you no money, no new supporters. So little boy, boss up. First off,
So Rick Ross is retarded, huh? And that was honestly,
Flip
I
out.
feel Rick Ross because too many people was out protesting, not necessarily even protesting, but just out trying to get that photo out.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that's what it is today. Unfortunately for the celebrities, I mean, they're out there. They just take a quick pic. I even know people,
Not even just celebrities,
Yeah, I'm about to
regular
say,
people.
I even know people, and I will not do that to them and throw names out there. But I know, you know, their views are so different. But I see the shirts. They got all the Black Power, Black Lives Matter shirts, and they out there. They take 2 or 3 pictures. They might even have a family. But I know you spent more than 5 minutes out there, and I know that you don't even agree. You know what I'm saying with the stuff that we're actually out here fighting for. You just you just want a little following for yourself. You know what I mean? And I think it's pretty whack, but whatever.
All right, so now to your take.
Yeah. So my take on that is I listened to the album. Now I like it. Shit, fuck it. I like the album. It makes you think. Okay, it makes you listen to him and say, okay, who was really telling the truth here? Because there's so many things that just don't add up. And not just because I listened to the album, but even before listening to the album, hearing the things about the gunshots, and then everybody all saying, well, she had surgery, it didn't touch no ligaments, no bones, it didn't look like no gunshots. Plus, when did he shoot her? You know what I mean? We seen the video of the cop pulling him over, her walking out. You know what I mean? And he even stayed in the car. If you felt you was in so much in danger, why didn't you say something then? When you had the police right there with you, you could have said something then if it was all that was going on. But I mean, if you really listen to the album, even just the intro, the first fucking song, it does. Well, let me not speak for you guys, but for me, it makes me believe that he's not lying. I'll just keep it a buck. And I'm not doing this to not to downplay any of the black women, because if she went through that with him, that's some traumatizing shit. But it makes you just think like, okay, there are 3 sides to every fucking story. You know what I'm saying? Her side, which was told. You know what I'm saying? His side, which is now being told, and the truth. You know what I'm saying? You just have to find your median. Nobody will ever know. Like Ross said, that's between you and her. But I think the album was dope. I think everybody should listen to at least give him a chance to hear their side, because everybody blackballed him and counted him out just based off of her camp and her supporters and her saying what she said. Man, I mean, that's really my take on it.
Nah, I feel you. To be honest with you, I think that somebody lying.
Big time, of course.
Somebody lying. I don't know if it's Tory. I don't know if it's Meg. Honestly, to be honest with you, I'm completely over the situation, to be honest with
Facts.
you. I do sit here and say that the album itself is good. It's good music. It's good music. And obviously he has some feelings for him because he made 17 tracks,
And they were
basically
all
trying to apologize to this chick. Like, I still love you. I still want to be with you. Like, fuck all that shit. Like, telling the people that you with to get out of your head. I'm still trying to be down for you.
Mm-hmm.
He made 17 tracks about that. Like, you got to be a good ass fucking liar to do
In
that.
2 months.
And I'm not defending the man at all. I'm not defending that man at all, because I do feel like he did something wrong. On the track Slim and Queen, what did I say?
Yeah, Queen Slim.
Queen and Slim. He kind of broke down the situation that happened that particular night by saying that he had a crush on Kylie. Apparently, she got in her feelings and was upset behind it. He was still chilling with Kylie, but then she got upset, and that's kind of how the whole situation started.
Yeah.
Whether that's true or not, I don't know, because I wasn't there.
Facts.
I don't know, because I wasn't there. However, obviously he did something or said something that caused for the situation to escalate further than what it needed to be. So yes, he's in the wrong for something.
Mm-hmm.
What it is, I don't know.
Yeah. Now you're right. He never, because he can't say. That's the thing. I mean, people want a direct answer, but as he stated in half the songs on that album, he is still, the case is still wide the fuck open. So there's only so much he can say.
Mm-hmm.
But he still broke his silence against what was supposed to be said to just make that album to let people know, hey, I do have a say. And I can only sit back for so long and let my name be ran in the mud before I just respond to something. I got to say something.
Now, to that point, again, the timing was just off.
Yeah.
If this was another date, if this was another time, you probably would have been good. But with the decision that was just being made, he dropped it when he dropped it. And he dropped it when he dropped it actually for probably a fairly good reason, because it was his mother's birthday, which was also the day that his mother died. So that was the reason why he dropped it the day that he did. However, you got to read the room, like Charlamagne the God always said. You got to read the room and see what the fuck is going on in the world with everything going on. Yeah. And obviously everybody was still upset and feeling some type of way with the Breonna Taylor decision. So understandably, you wanted to drop it on your Mother's Day, and I don't know who that is on the artwork. Maybe that is his mother's baby picture or something like that. But still, if you would have just probably like waited maybe like a week, 2 weeks ago, it probably been received a lot better, and you probably could have got your point across that you were trying to convey right now. But right now, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit.
I'm gonna go against that one, and I'm gonna say that this is his story. You know what I'm saying? This is his take. He's been in his own world trying to get this album out. I doubt he's out there listening and caring about everything going on in the world, trying to find out when's the right time to drop it. He knew when he wanted to drop it. It was on his heart to drop it that day. So what time? How you gonna tell that man to drop it on another time when this is the time his heart has said, I need to drop this? You know what I'm saying? He had his reasons, which were pretty deep, and they were his reasons. You know what I mean? Like you said, I didn't even know that. But my thing is, if he didn't drop it then, when is the right time? A week later may not be the right time. Either way, they're still going to say, man, fuck you, boy. You shot that girl. You know what I'm saying?
And you might be 100% right. You might be right. But I think that breathing room would have helped a lot.
Yeah, it probably could have helped. But I mean, I wouldn't say he should have. I would say that it could have helped, but I wouldn't say
And again, there's those people that's out there that it doesn't matter when he dropped it. They're always going to be able to.
He's out of there. He's out of there.
Yeah.
Period. That's like, well, I don't want to do that. But I was going to say.
Go ahead and say it. Say it.
You already know where I'm going.
No, I don't.
Okay, I was going to say that's like, okay, I mean, Kale's in jail, obviously, but that's like if Kale's dropped the album, no matter what the fuck he did, when he did it, nigga, fuck you.
That's because the evidence is out there. That's because the evidence is out there. There's no evidence out there against Tory right now, outside of Meg saying what she said.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And that's why it's kind of crazy and sad that the world we live in, you take one side and you make your decision, you roll with it, and you blackball based off that.
Let me see if this meant sway your decision a little bit.
Bitch fool.
Let me see if this sways your decision a little bit.
What you got?
Now, a couple days later, they said that there was a report that came out that basically said that that there's been reports of Tory Lanez team going out making false claims, and not necessarily false claims, but sending out false information to radio stations, saying that they're the doctors of Megan Thee Stallion, and none of this stuff ever occurred.
Wow. Oh, wait. Oh, remember? Okay, I had to think about what you just said. Members of his team saying this stuff.
Yeah, that's acting like they're the doctors for Meg, saying that she was never shot. It was just fragments or something.
I haven't heard that at all. I don't know enough about it. And to one of the things you said, and it might end the segment here, I don't care enough about it, I guess you can say. I think that's another problem with us,
all right,
too.
well then, that's fine. Yeah. You don't have to care, honestly, because I'm tired of the cancel culture myself, and I think you're kind of tired of it as well.
It's just we put a lot of energy into it. I understand in our industry right now with the podcast, and this is what people want to hear, what's going on and whatnot.
Are you listening to Tory? Continuing going forward.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Tory's still a genius. So he's still a great artist. I'm still a big fan. That ain't going nowhere.
He's talented as fuck. Don't get me wrong. I listened to the album for research purposes, but to me, he's still on pause. I still need to see evidence. I still need to see the full story. I'm not canceling him. Mm-hmm. He's talented because, like you said, this album was good. To me, it was decent. It was pretty good. But I listened to it for research purposes, and I put it on pause ever since. He's on pause until further notice. Unless I can get some further evidence on either side. And Meg is on pause too, because I don't know who the fuck to believe, to be honest with you. So outside of the Watt video, because I could watch that.
But that wasn't listening to lotion and shit. Anyway. This nigga here. But no. I'm still fucking with Tory. If he drops something, I'm going to listen. You know what I'm saying? I'll just go ahead and throw this out there while we're on that subject. When it comes to artists and their personal lives, there's only a few things that you can have done for me to just blackball you as an artist and say I'm not a fan. Now, I'm a fan of your music, and I'm not going to take back. I can't stop what I like. I can't say I don't like this because I don't like that person.
Because you still listen to R. Kelly.
This is so very true, and I don't care what y'all say. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I had a whole day riding home where I listened to the whole R. Kelly. He's still on fucking Apple Music. I thought they took him off, but they didn't. Apple Music, R. Kelly Essentials, because I have my reasons. You know what I'm saying? I have my memories from some Kel songs. You know what I'm saying? When my oldest child probably was made from R. Kelly. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just real shit. You can't unlisten to him because you don't agree with his life. You know what I mean? If some people knew some of the shit we've done,
you can again. You don't have to unlisten to him, but you can stop supporting him because them streams are still supporting him.
Oh well, I still support him. There it is. I think I still follow him on Instagram. Sorry, Deron.
R. Kelly?
I think so. Yeah, and I don't follow but a handful.
R. Kelly literally, on Instagram?
Literally a handful of celebrities. I don't follow many celebrities. I'm not one of those that follow everyone. That I barely follow any. You know what I'm saying? and I think he's one that I follow. If I'm not mistaken,
I didn't even know R. Kelly had an Instagram.
it's like him, Neo, Ti. You know, as far as musicians,
I follow nothing but strippers.
I know you do. Thought life is fool here, but no. To the point, yeah. At the end of the day, I just can't. I'm not gonna just stop because of what the world says. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, this is the world speaking. This man just now decided to speak right now. So I was gonna count him all the way out because the world said something against him. No, I need to hear his story, and we need to validate
I
it.
agree with that. I agree with that.
So,
I agree with that.
and I mean, 'cause it's not fair.
Again, I think we both agree that obviously he did something wrong.
Yeah, I noticed something there. I mean,
We just
even
don't
one
know.
of his songs,
We don't know the full.
he
story
still
behind
couldn't
it.
say too much because he said he's on a hush. But you know it was because he knew there was some shit. He even said I fucked up when I did this. You know what I'm saying? But he wouldn't say what.
Yeah.
And you know, again, I don't want. I can't carry it enough. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't have it in me to carry it enough to say, well, what'd you do? I need to know, or I'm not gonna listen to one more fucking song. Nah. Hey, bro, you make good music.
Understandably, man. Well, so since we're in music, we might as well go ahead and get into some of the new music that dropped. And I'm surprised that you probably didn't even notice this, or even pay attention to this.
Who dropped? Then I need to go press play on.
You know they dropped a new Carter 5.
You lie.
Dead ass. They dropped
It's
the
on Tidal or
deluxe. They
something?
dropped the deluxe version of the Carter 5.
This man lying to me today. Hold on, let me see.
And there's probably about maybe like 6, 7 new tracks on there.
Man.
That's old, and they're vibing. The hottest one that's out, and the one that kind of get the most that got the most buzz right now is Siri featuring 2 Chainz, and that shit go kind of hard. I can't trust the iPhone. I can't trust my iPhone. 'Cause I think Siri the feds, and that shit kind of go hard, bro.
He's not lying.
And I'll go ahead and play a snippet of it for you because I know you like. No,
He's not lying. The album now has 33 songs on it. It only had, I think, 26 before, or something like that. Wow, he's not lying. I gotta hear this. FM. Then where the hell's Oh, there it is. They moved Triple X way to the middle now. Mm. Mm. Mm.
and he really just spitting the whole shit. Like the songs that he just added, he just spit.
Bars, nigga.
And like I'm surprised you ain't know about this one yet.
You're supposed to told me. If he's not in your top 5, he gotta be in your top 10. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, people make jokes at me and give me all kind of homo jokes because I'm such a fan of Wayne. But come on, man. The dude been at it, man. He been at it. And I just spoke to Watts off air before the even podcast started about how relevant Lil Wayne is and how he's one of those guys we really need to drop flowers on right now while he's here. And I'll just go ahead and share it while we're here and we're on subject of him to show you how long Lil Wayne has been at it and how long he's been popping. One of my fellow podcasters, shout out first to Out the Mud podcast out of Orlando, Florida, with some of my homeboys there. They made a post, and it was like, to put Lil Tunechi's longevity in perspective, he signed his first rap deal a year before Tupac dropped All Eyes on Me. Now let that sink in a little bit. A year before Pac dropped All Eyes on Me, Wayne had a whole year in where he had already signed and dropped his first album. So Pac been gone. Pac passed in 96, I think. And Biggie died in 96 or 94, one of them. 96, Pac died, if I'm not mistaken.
Biggie died after.
Biggie died after? Mm-hmm. Okay, so, around 96, they both died in like a year apart or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So that puts us at, how many years? And Pac was at it for years before that. Wayne been at it that entire time. Now, the longest he's taken off has been that time he went through that issue with Baby. And that was, a couple years? And he still had, a couple features here and there, but he just wouldn't drop a project. But that man been at it, dropping albums and being relevant for that long to not be put in somebody's top 5. He's in my top 5. I'm not saying he's going to be in everybody's, but I think he should make more top 5 conversations than he does.
And then also as well, he had a birthday recently. Drake gave a nice little
927
post.
82. I'm an 80s baby.
Drake gave a nice little post to him, dedicating, that he wouldn't be here without Wayne. So,
yeah.
shout out to Drake, shout out to Wayne, of
yeah.
course, man, a whole legend out here, representing still to this day. And again, go take a listen to that Carter 5, the
Facts.
deluxe edition, because it is still the top thing that's out there right now, real fire.
Thank you for that, because I definitely got a long ride heading home after this, so I will be listening to those few tracks there.
Yeah, also as well, I don't know, I really don't understand why, but Bryson Tiller also dropped the deluxe rendition of Trap Soul. I think it may be like 3 or 4 different new tracks on it. The one song that he kind of dropped was the Rambo song. You heard Rambo. He kind of dropped the remix version with The Weeknd on it.
Shit, he been gone too long to be deluxe in the old album.
That's kind of why. That's kind of the same feeling I had behind it.
Yeah, you gotta give us a whole fucking Chris Brown album at this point. Shit.
That's kind of the feeling I had behind it. And then also as well, Travis Scott dropped a new song, which was the song that we introed with his franchise. Yep, in my white tee.
Takes.
It was alright.
It was trash.
It was alright. I think it was. I think it was more hype. But
I waited for something to happen.
I thought it was gonna be something hard.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be something
waited
hard.
and waited throughout the song because it had potential to jump up. It never did, and then it went off. Girl did not close that song out well at all.
I don't even think I made it to that part.
I thank you.
But I think, however, they did say that they shot a music video for it, and Michael Jordan gave him permission to use his mansion in Chicago to use the music video. I haven't seen the video yet.
Jordan supporting the brothers? Okay.
Well, he kind of signed to Jordan.
Well, that's why. That makes sense.
Yeah, he signed to Jordan. That's why he got the cactus shoes, the ones, whatever it is.
Yeah, the brown and white. Yeah.
I'm not a shoe guy, so I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, he got them cactus ones, resale like $750.
Yeah. And then
he got the McDonald's meal.
Oh yeah, he do got a McDonald's deal. He do got a McDonald's.
They said they're running out of patties and shit because when people keep coming to asking for the Travis Scott. I thought he was playing, but they for real. People running out of shit because they asking for the Travis Scott meal. I didn't think it was gonna be that deep.
I didn't think so either. But there is a lot of new music that's dropping this upcoming Friday. Do you have any new music that has dropped that you want to talk to the people about?
Nah, I don't know anything dropping except what we spoke about last time.
Well, there's a lot of upcoming music that's dropping this Friday. One of the big things that all the ladies are kind of going crazy about is Bryson Tiller and Drake is supposed to be dropping something.
Okay, that should be dope.
Yeah, that should be dope. Hopefully it'll be dope. Two emotional ass niggas getting on the track together.
Speaking of, I'm gonna make a prediction. You probably can agree. Today's October 1st. I think before the middle of the month, we'll see that project popping off. I hope he don't use the Tiller combo to make it, some.
I do think Drake's gonna have a project. I don't know if it's gonna be.
He
is OVO. He is OVO. You got a point.
October's very own, which means I don't see him going through the month without doing something for himself, saying, "Here's my project." Whether he throw a Ye type.
Did you watch the Justin Bieber video yet?
Hell yeah, that shit's funny as fuck. That shit funny as hell.
Nah, all right, you got a good point. You might be valid. I do think that he's gonna drop an album soon, because he been hitting like I can't even finish my own album. I can't even finish my own project.
So, I know he's done with that shit. Though. I'm sure he is.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's a good point. That's a good one, Anwar. You picked up on something.
Come on. That I thought that was a common sense, and you being a big Drake fan.
But he never actually drops anything in October, though. That's the kind of thing, though.
You know
it's
what?
usually in September or November sometimes.
Speaking of predictions, we are in October, and I don't know how much of a South fan you are, but 10/17 is 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks away.
What was it, 10/17?
That's Gucci birthday. Come on now.
Gucci Man.
Gucci needs to be dropping something.
Gucci Man been dropping something every fucking day.
He was for a while, but if you think about it,
no, he's still been dropping shit. He just dropped the So Icy album like 2 months ago.
Hey man, you know Gucci. He was like the next thing after fucking No Limit to drop weekly fucking albums.
He just dropped the So Icy collaboration album like probably about 2 months ago.
But I didn't like that. It was too much of his camp and not enough of him. And I know that's what he's doing now. He's putting more into his camp and shit.
Yeah.
But nah, I want to see if he got something coming. Give us some early Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Give me some early East Atlanta.
He did
East
drop
Atlanta,
that Christmas album.
Santa. I want some of that.
All right, so some of the new albums, some of the new music that's gonna be dropping out on Friday. 21 Savage and Metro Boomin is dropping Savage Mode 2.
Okay.
I already mentioned Bryson Tiller and Drake dropping something. But I think that's a song on his album. The album's supposed to be called Anniversary.
Whose album?
Bryson Tiller.
Okay.
YG is dropping something. I always like some YG music. It's called My Life 400.
Okay.
He always drops some good bangers on his shit. Smoke DZA is dropping Homegrown. You probably don't know who it is. West Coast
Facts.
artist going wrong. Let's see if you got somebody. Meg and Young Thug, they dropped a song. I'm gonna be dropping a song called "Don't Stop."
Okay.
West Side Gun, shout out to
I
Dallas.
knew you
He's
was
big
gonna
up on him.
West Side.
West Side Gun seems like
West
he been dropping
Side.
something every other week.
Hey
dog,
man,
but
you know what he got to do to stay relevant.
West Side Gun dropping something. Well, one of them dudes from that camp, they dropping something. He dropping an album called "Who Made Sunshine." Denzel Curry, who's a big artist who you've probably heard of, you just probably haven't listened to him. Dropping an album called a song called TBA, and Ellie Ma dropping a song called "Not Another Love Song." That's my bass, so I'm waiting for her to drop something cool. And then Giveon, who's featured on one of Drake's songs, I can't think of the name of the song right now. He's also dropping a EP called "When It's All Said and Done." And then Roddy Ricch is going to be featured on Internet Money, who is another artist dropping a Lemonade remix. So, yeah.
Might be dope. The lemonade was tough.
Well, I mean, Lemonade in general is tough.
This nigga, especially from Chick-fil-A. You ever had anyway?
Don't get me talking.
This man. But nah, guess that wraps up the music world. As you see, music is still flowing no matter what the world is doing right now. We still got some shit to look forward to. October is always a popular month, and then we'll see how the year ends with that shit. But now let's get to some sports.
Where you want to start?
We can start the NFL.
All right.
I know that's usually your forte.
This is every single time that your ass.
Oh yeah, because I don't
check out after this shit.
Football. Even my little brother, even Nate, shout out to Nate. Nate hit me up, was like, "Hey, you might want to watch tonight's game." I said, "Who playing?" Shit, Kansas City in fucking Baltimore. I said, "Okay."
Monday night football.
I started watching that game. I seen the blowout taking place. I say, man, I'm out of there.
That's pretty much what happened. That's pretty much all I got for Monday night, man. The game actually ended fairly close, but Patrick Mahomes basically kind of showed out and just basically let the world know why the fuck he was the Super Bowl MVP, and why the fuck he has the largest contract now in the NFL, man, and beat the Baltimore Ravens. And your boy Lamar Jackson, he just didn't have it in him, and didn't produce at all very well. His defense, not even his defense, his Kansas City defense was so on point. They shut Lamar Jackson down. I don't even think he had 100 yards passing. I'm trying to get the scores, but my fucking ESPN, has your ESPN shit been acting up since this
Don't
update?
get me lying. I'm about to talk to Siri since you're asking. Hey Siri, what was the score with the Chiefs and Ravens game?
This nigga.
Let's see what Siri.
The final score was 34-20.
There you have it.
There you have it. Well, yeah.
Yeah, it got closer than I thought. It was a blowout when I was watching it.
Yeah, because it definitely was a blowout. So don't give it a twist. It definitely was a blowout.
And they both were 2-0 before that. You know what I mean? Before that, they were both were 2-0.
And Lamar Jackson didn't do pretty much of anything. He went.
Y'all see how fast my Siri was? Don't hate.
Where is my stats sheet? Oh shit! I'm gonna do better on the sports because we don't really get into the actual scores like that. But Lamar Jackson went for 97 passing yards, bro. 15 and 28, bro, and out of passing, it was just terrible, bro. Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes went for 385 yards passing.
Wow.
42 attempts, 31 completions, bro. And the boy hit 4 touchdowns, and the boy was literally just doing anything he wanted. He also had a rushing touchdown, and basically kind of balled out. But however, one of the highlight wins, I'm gonna give a shout out to my Tampa Bay Buccaneers for beating the Broncos, but the Broncos is trash, so we should have beat them. However, one of the highlights of the weekend is the Atlanta Falcons losing again.
Oh my goodness!
To the Chicago Bears
in the last minute.
Chicago Bears beat the Atlanta Falcons 30-26. Now, when I sit here and tell you, like Sunday, me and Eric went out golfing, and I haven't been golfing in maybe like 10 years. So me and Eric kind of went out there to just kind of play around a little bit, and I went into the clubhouse. The Falcons were up big.
Yeah.
They were up super big. So I was like, oh, they got this. I'm good.
You knew good and well not to say that shit.
I thought they weren't going to do it 2 weeks in a row.
This.
I didn't think they was going to do it 2 weeks in a row.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, give us some back contrast. Like literally the week before, they lost to the Dallas Cowboys on an onside kick by basically the Cowboys getting an onside kick and basically winning the game and defeating the Atlanta Falcons. Coming back from like a 15-point like lead,
Yeah.
losing the 20-point lead again, similar to how they did in the Super Bowl. But this one was even worse because it was an onside kick that they had the opportunity to recover. So I didn't think that it was going to happen 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, man.
2 weeks in a row, these fools lost a 15-point lead to the fucking Chicago Bears, who don't even have a fucking quarterback. For real, for real. Matt Trubisky got benched. They put Nick Foles in, and Nick Foles came back and won the game for him.
Damn.
The Atlanta Falcons are now 0-3. And a fucking waste of money.
And they've had
and
every
a fucking
game,
waste of money, bro.
And they had every game in their grasp, in their hands, rather.
Yeah,
and
it's just terrible.
No pun,
man.
fumble, but
it's just terrible.
Hey, if y'all would see my notes, because we take notes before we podcast, my note says Falcons going Falcon. That was my notes for the Falcons.
Where is that in your notes? I don't see that shit in your notes.
Stop playing. Read that shit right there.
But anyway,
Falcons going Falcon, and that's what the fuck they did.
Yeah, but man, so that's it for football for the most part in the NFL, because there ain't really shit happening for the NFL. There is some controversy going on right now. I believe a couple of Titans players, somebody else players got tested positive for COVID. That's why I said, bro, I don't see how they having their football season.
You said that shit, 2 episodes ago. I think it was 47. I think he said just that. He was like, I don't think football going to go as far as basketball because they're not doing anything like how the bubble is set up where it's secluded. They're just playing as it is. And as he said, I don't know how many games we're in right now, how many weeks rather for football. But yeah, we already got 2 cases. One is a personnel member and one's an actual player, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, it's a couple of players. This was a couple of players. It's like 7 to 8 players that had got caught in
That's why. So they got this upcoming game is postponed, right?
I don't know. I don't know the details. I probably should have researched it a little bit more, but I was just crazy because I still don't understand like how the fuck are they having a football season right now. But yeah, man, that's football for y'all. And I do want to give y'all to the most to one of my highlights of the football. The NCAA football has come back. The SEC kicked off for the first time this weekend. However, one of the highlights in NCAA football was the motherfucking Miami Hurricanes whooping the brakes off you Florida State Seminoles ass.
They beat the shit out of them.
You sorry ass bitches.
What was that score? Cause that was a mollywop.
52-10, I believe.
Yeah, that it looked like when the Hurricanes used to play FAMU. That's how that shit looked. Cause we so used to getting thrashed by the Hurricanes whenever they give us that one per year wax job that they give us. Usually it's Miami. And Miami beat the shit out of damn FSU. I'm like, golly, I low key feel bad for them. I ain't gonna lie.
You feel bad for who? Florida State?
For the State fans, because they just, it hasn't been their year in a while.
52-10 on Saturday, September 26th, man. We whooped their ass. And we should have shut them out, but, we kind of leaned back in the second half to just let them chill out. And, man, listen, bro, we have a Derek King, our quarterback. He's a problem. He's a problem, bro. Derek King is a problem, bro.
Random sentimental moment. The last time I watched the FSU UM game was when me and you went, I don't know how many years ago, when you got me that ticket and we was down in Tallahassee.
Oh, yeah, when we went down for that day trip down there.
We took a 1-day drive to Tallahassee just to go to the game. My dog looked out with a discounted ticket, and we just watched the game. I fell asleep through halftime.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the Golden Girls. I think
here you go. Sounds about right.
State, man. She got me
See,
some tickets.
it takes all these years later. I would have never known that. I thought he was just showing brotherly love, and no. But yeah, that's the last time I watched that game.
I miss her.
So, and that was a wild little day too. If you think about it, we was out there playing catch with the little chicks.
Oh
and
yeah,
shit.
because we was doing beer pong and all that shit. We was doing all that shit.
It was like a rap video, bro. It was like, okay, I know we're changing the subject. I'm sorry, but this is what we
tailgate.
do.
But that's tailgating because this is the first time that you actually ever tailgated.
Facts.
And you've never actually. I don't think you've tailgated since then.
Probably not. Because I was supposed to do it with the Falcons game a few times, but I ended up working events or just not going.
So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be keeping it a buck with you. Like there's probably you went to you went out to Morehouse tailgate, but it still wasn't like this.
Oh, we went to
You went out to Morehouse tailgate, but it still wasn't like this. Like going to a Florida State game, going to any like PWI games and going to actually tailgate is a blast, bro. I went out to UGA's tailgate maybe a couple years ago. And bro, like this is the first time I ever had played beer pong, and I had me a blast, bro.
When I tell you,
all it really is going tent to tent. Let me get a drink. I'm getting a drink, get a cup, this and that.
That's how I was gonna describe it. If anyone remembers the old ass Lil Wayne video, A Millie, that's how it felt. It felt like you just went from scene to scene doing stuff. I mean, me and Watts went from beer ponging with random chicks. Then next thing you know, football comes up in the air. Somebody catches it. It's some chicks playing catch with a couple dudes. We playing catch. Next thing you know, a frisbee flies in the air. You catch the frisbee. You're in the middle of a frisbee game. It's just you just went from scene to scene, and you just didn't turn it off.
Yeah.
You just kept doing that shit.
I do
bro.
got to give a shout out. I do got to give a shout out. There, Morehouse Spellhouse Homecoming. They tailgate is off the chain. Don't get it wrong.
Facts.
They're
Big
homecoming.
facts.
But they're TSU, Tennessee State.
Mm-hmm.
They have a banging ass tailgate.
Oh, you got
too.
the one?
They have a banging. I went there for Tennessee State's homecoming a couple years ago, and they play at the Titans Stadium in Nashville.
Okay.
And when I sit here and tell you, like, I was just walking, yo,
Like that.
come take a shot. Okay, then.
Let go.
Let go. Don't tell me twice.
Don't threaten me with a good
bro.
time.
And it was literally from 10 to 10. They was just giving me shots, bro. And I had me a great time.
I'm about
and we
to
took
get
a party bus out that bitch, too. So you know it was already lit.
I'm about to get sad because I did not take advantage of so many things back when I had the opportunity to. And the way this world is going doesn't look like I'll be able to do the same. So it sucks, but those were the days, man. I think a lot of y'all probably experienced that as well. So shout out to that. Shout out to HBCU experience altogether, period. However you look at it. It's just fucking dope.
Just college experience in general, man. I don't even want to just limit it to HBCU. College experience
me,
in general,
I'm
man. College is the best time of your life.
I'm going to root my shit.
College is the best time of your life in general because it's like, yes, especially on game days because everybody just get.
I can't wait till we do the episode. I'm about to. I told my homegirl Miami, Angie, I'm gonna hit her up after this, and we're just gonna go over some details because we will have this reminisce episode, and we will go in. We might pick up a couple calls in between time. We're gonna do something different, but I look forward to it because I'm sure right now with the world feeling at a standstill, we kind of want to just sit back and realize the shit that we did do because a lot of us, need that wake up to remember, hey man, we were fun people before. So we're boring right now, some of us, but we were fun before. So I can't wait for that.
All right, man. So you want to go ahead and get into the NBA because I know that's what you really want to get into.
You already know, man.
What you want to start with? You want what you want to start? You want to start? Hold on. Did we already? Oh, we didn't start. We got to start back into the conference finals, right?
So we left y'all off going into conference finals,
and my prediction was correct. Yours was wrong.
Mine was wrong. On the East.
Again.
On the East, okay. Again. Mine were wrong on the East. So we already went through
Do you want to see if we can try to get what's the name, man?
Yeah, let's try real quick.
Let's see if we can try to get him. Let's see.
Do.
Let's see if we can try to get him.
Man.
If not, you said Dallas ain't doing shit.
Yeah, we'll get him, man. That's funny. Nah. Want to pause it? No Limit Studios. P there? P who? Say the motherfucking P.
What's good, bro?
What's going on, Mr. Marshall? You got 5-10 minutes for me?
Doing a brain call.
What's that?
You got 5 or 10 minutes for me?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Well, this is your boy Watts, and this is your boy
P2. This your boy Anwar on D-Lock from Banter podcast show.
I feel.
Shit, y'all motherfuckers gonna put me on the spot.
I felt like it was only right that we called our NBA analysts in and get your input in on what we got going on right now, what we about to talk about, man. So we about to get into the NBA segment of our show, man. And you are a pro expert, man. You are expert on all things NBA because we know Anwar can't shoot the ball for shit.
Lies.
Anwar just follow what's current.
Don't do that. I was kind of a hooper at one point.
So we kind of wanted to go.
You were a junior Magic.
Well, you must have been ball boy for us then, because I'm nicer. So what that mean?
Let's keep things in perspective.
I'm nicer. So what that mean?
Hey, I'm not going to insult his character by any means, but yeah, go ahead. Ask the question, bro.
So, man, we about to go ahead and get into it and break it down, man. Of course, as you guys know, the NBA Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals just pretty much wrapped up. We had the LA Lakers coming out of the West in 5 games, right? In 5 games. And then we had the Heat coming out of the East, defeating the Boston Celtics in 6 games. So we want to go ahead and get your take, Chad. And so, as if you guys don't know, we have Chad Marshall, aka our NBA analyst, the pro on here. Give us our intake. We just want to get your take on what happened with the Lakers and what happened with Boston. Let's go ahead and start with the Heat in Boston first.
Nah, man. I just think the Heat. All credit to Coach Spo and Pat Riley, man. They played team ball. You know, and unfortunately with the Boston Celtics, the ball sticks in the hands of whoever's hot.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a fluid offensive flow. They either ride the young guns, so it's either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, and they don't know how to complement each other right now. We understand it's what both of their, I think, third year in the league.
Yeah.
So they're still trying. I think Brad Stevens, this is the second year in a row where he's brought in Gordon Hayward coming off of injury.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to play him substantial minutes. Knowing that he's not in the rhythm of the offense just yet. So I think the young guns, they're super fucking talented.
Right.
But they got to learn how to play with each other and learn how to complement each other. And play within the flow of the offense and not try to, kind of force their hand as to whoever's hot one night. Because that just ends up being in a lot of FGAs and not too many FGMs.
Mm-hmm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this like Gordon Hayward's like second year of trying to come back and play in the playoffs after being hurt? So it's like he's not in the rhythm of the offense going
Correct.
on.
Perfectly.
We're gonna keep it in perspective. It's like third or fourth fucking year.
For real.
But with Boston, two times, yes.
Remember when he broke his ankle?
Yes.
And then I think that was like 3 years ago because I think Brown was still in the East at that point in time.
Yep. Opening game versus the Cavs.
Yeah, man, he just made out of glass.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
so I want to give a shout out though to your point about with the Miami Heat, man, because the Miami Heat is playing the ultimate team ball right now. Literally, anybody could come off the bench and try to get hot and get going on. But I would definitely want to give a special shout out in particular to Tyler Hero, who's coming off as a rookie, doing what he do, man. I want to get your perspective on how you feel about Tyler Hero, bro.
I just think he rose to the occasion. When the opportunity presented itself.
Yep.
And I just think that's, he's been playing decent ball all year.
Right.
However, I just think that's just bad scouting from a defensive standpoint on the Celtics.
Yeah.
Heroes has been, he hasn't been any different than what he was during the regular season. I think Boston just failed to capitalize on how good he was. That's all.
Yeah.
He was in a good rhythm flow. So, kudos to him. But, I still think he's somewhat overrated.
You think Tyler Hero's overrated?
To an extent, the kid got time to grow.
Yeah.
He got time to grow, but at the same time, I'm going to give more credit to the Heat organization as a whole, and Eric Spoelstra for exploiting, some of the Celtics' weaknesses, but I think Hero's still somewhat overrated right now.
No, I definitely agree with you. I think that previously, when Spoelstra won the championships, everything was, LeBron made him. That wasn't necessarily his team. But right now, Spoelstra coaching his ass off right now, bro.
Yeah, and let's be honest, man. He's the second best coach in the league right now behind Greg Popovich.
Mm-hmm.
That's what scares me within this series because if the game is close, if there's any play calling down the stretch that needs to happen, Eric Spoelstra is going to make the right play. He's going to make sure he calls the right play. So, he's not a virgin from that standpoint. So, I respect him highly.
Let me ask you this: do you think that this is the most Miami team ever, like culture-wise, that's embraced into the culture of the city of Miami?
Yeah, because they play positionless basketball.
Mm-hmm.
The tallest player on the team is fucking 6'8", 6'9", and bam.
Bam on the bayou.
They play positionless basketball. They play unselfish basketball. Yep. Which is it's hard to find. Jimmy Butler, obviously from a tenure standpoint, from a physicality standpoint, he brings a lot of mental toughness to the team.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that they're an unselfish ball club.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero's leading the night. He's leading one night in scoring, and next night you got somebody else.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that they're an unselfish ball club and they understand the task at hand. They're gonna. Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. There's no ego playing into it at all. They all just letting whoever get it on. We all here to win, and they all have that grit and that grind, similar to how the Memphis Grizzlies used to have back in the day, where it's just basically grit and grind. We out here grinding to win, and
Yeah.
as long as you down with it, you're down with it.
Yeah, a lot of people gave Jimmy a hard time about choosing Miami when he had so many options. Of course, we know he's close to a superstar. He's an all-star, but he could have went so many places. But him choosing Miami, you see why he chose them because he knew what he was getting into. Like he wanted to be able to lead in the mental perspective, not necessarily out there scoring all the points and whatnot.
And then he has teammates that can actually take it.
Exactly, and you called it. They play selfishless basketball. Like one person could be open, but no, I'm going to find the best shot versus just I want to get my points up. And you can see that. You've seen it clear as day in the Boston series. Unfortunately, they ain't doing shit right now, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. So what you want to take your take on the Lakers defeating the Nuggets in 5 in the Western Conference Finals?
I just think, I'm gonna give credit to the coaching staff. I think Frank Vogel, and Jason Kidd, they made some good adjustments. They realized there was a two-headed monster. You neutralize those two-headed monsters, and or more so, if you neutralize, Jokic, I think, obviously you can go ahead and take him down.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they did through, I think through game 3 or 4, that's where you saw the coaching change of inserting, Dwight Howard into the starting lineup.
Yep.
And granted, I understand, Dwight Howard, he fouls a lot or whatever, but he brought some intensity to a game that was, that Jokic just, he wasn't used to. And I think just his experience overall, kind of helped propel them and put them in a better situation. I think so. I think it was a chess move, from the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we saw how the Nuggets dismantled the Clippers, from a coaching standpoint. So, that was the only, from a talent standpoint, they couldn't beat the Clippers, but from a coaching standpoint, they did it. So I think Vogel and his staff kind of went to the chessboard and saw that was an opportunity they could go ahead and exploit, and they did it.
Yep, and by making that change of putting Dwight Howard in the starting lineup, it gave the energy that the Lakers needed in order to kind of get over that hump because both game 3, 4, and not even 5. I'm not going to say 5, but game 3 and 4, they came out sloppy and they came out lazy. But Dwight came out and he kind of gave him that energy to kind of keep him going, especially in game 4 when he just basically was getting any rebound he wanted. And I think he scored like 9 straight points off of rebounds.
He had like 8 damn rebounds in the first quarter or something crazy like that.
So
man, and that's unexpected. JaVale, he a shell of himself. He gonna fuck up somehow, some way. Offensively, defensively. But however, Dwight, I mean, he's gonna get his little ticky tack foul, but he played within himself.
And he still was a defensive MVP. It's the defensive. What is it? NBA award winner. One time defensive award winner. 2 times. So I mean, that's still in him. He just got to get out his own way sometimes too to make sure I'm not fouling, which he has done.
He just pressed that. He just pressed that. Not aggressive, but like you said, Chad. They played chess by putting him in there. They put him in there not just for the physical being he is, but also for the mental piece he plays. We're getting in Jokic head. Jokic is a laid back, chill, find my groove type player. Dwight got all in that shit. So that was the main reason they put him in there. They couldn't afford to foul him out. He could have fouled out in the first half, and they wouldn't have been mad. It was just put a body on him, get in his head, and it worked like a fucking charm. You know what I mean? Like quick too. You watched it work from the first quarter all the way through. Like damn, that easy? Shit. If it's gonna be that easy, then I don't need to be here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this, because it's only right. I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle a little credit into LeBron. Favorite player. However, I hold him to a high standard.
Well, you stopped claiming him at one point. You stopped claiming him at one point. You stopped claiming him at one point.
No, I've never stopped claiming him.
I thought when he went to LA, you said, "I just can't fuck with LA no more. I can't. I fuck with Bron, but I can't fuck with LA."
No, man. I was real honest with him. I told Laker Nation, purple and gold needed us. More than we did. Purple and gold.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You hear that? You hear that, Marcus? You hear that, Marcus?
So that's just honesty. However, at the same time, I get kudos to LeBron for fucking stepping up, down the stretch and guarding. Jamal Murray, that motherfucker was torching him.
He was making the craziest shot. I've never seen like just no shots like
they
that
got his
made
layups
ever, bro.
in like top 3, top 5 of all time already. Like, damn.
Hold on, what you say now?
They got his layups already like listed in top 3s and top 5s
Oh.
with Dr. J and Jordan's. You know what I'm saying? 360s.
Them shits was crazy though.
They was crazy.
Yeah, he made some spectacular layups, but layups are layups. It is.
I mean, that's how I feel. I even actually went against that and was like, "Well, y'all
Anyways,
forget
but
DeMar
you see what
DeRozan
happened.
did the same 360 layup. The whole the other one up and under. I mean, fucking J.R. Smith did that shit. I mean, he's nobody, but still, you know what I mean. But again,
this is in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I know
so that's
it was the platform he was
and
on.
LeBron like Chad said, to LeBron's credit, he basically is like, no, back the fuck up, Rondo. I got this nigga. Yeah. I'm locking him down. Especially, I think it was game 3 or 4. He said, I'm locking him down. I got this shit right now. And like, we gonna make sure he not doing all this crazy shit. And he shut him out in the fourth quarter. I believe he made like 1 bucket in the fourth quarter. And then Jokic didn't make anything. So
we saw the Clippers try to do it, but they couldn't. So,
Kawhi couldn't do it. Kawhi couldn't do it. To be specific.
He definitely couldn't do it. He definitely couldn't do it. So Patrick Beverly, we understand he's a defensive monster, and he couldn't do it. But we understand the king. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and he stepped up in the right time, man.
My dad just finally texted me back this week. He ain't texted me in 3 weeks.
He finally spoke to him
because he a Kawhi fan. He was like, I'm not a Clippers fan. I'm a Kawhi fan. Well, Kawhi should have joined the Lakers in July because Kawhi just get this ring.
Jeez, just imagine that.
All right, man. So that brings us to the NBA Finals. We had Game 1 last night. Do we even really want to talk about Game 1?
We got to. That's why we're here right now, the day after, to discuss how it went down. So, Chad, you could intro us in on your take. Well, first off, let's start with what was your expectation of Game 1 versus what you seen, if it wasn't the same?
Honestly, I thought the Lakers would do what they've been doing all playoffs, come out and lose the first game. Kind of they do they just like a boxer, just kind of fill them out. The first few rounds or whatever. They've been doing that in each series with each team and then underestimating them down the stretch. So, however, it's, they kind of saw the area of opportunity and exploited Miami quickly. After midway through the first quarter, I told teams, I told people, Miami, they only go 7 deep. They've only been going 7 deep. I mean, none. Last night was his first time playing double digits.
Yeah, since he was sick.
And they don't necessarily, like I said, they're unselfish. They don't ride the high hand, but they move the ball. However, they're small.
And that was exploited big.
And typically, look what LeBron teams do, and I'm taking it all the way back to Cleveland. He kind of forced the hand of the coaches to adjust to the other team. And last night they didn't. They came out big. They stayed big, and they exploited them. They played inside out. They tried, and what Miami did, which was I think was very uncharacteristic. They committed too soon to LeBron. As soon as LeBron got the ball, they wanted
doubled up, quick, fast. Yep, you're right.
Exactly. So in doing that left wide open shooters. KCP saying, he got 5 to 10 seconds just to get a shot off. Anybody in the NBA, they get that much time, they better make a wide open shot. And I'm just, I'm happy at the fact that, one, the stage wasn't too big for him. And I think that just has something to do with, fans not being in attendance.
Everybody except for Danny Green.
Yeah. Oh, he hit 2. He hit a couple,
But I think from, on the opposite end, Miami Heat came out comfortable in shooting the ball. They were who we thought they were. They were shooting threes, they was making them. And then once they made that, they made that switch and they realized how they can exploit them, I think they got tired on the offensive end from exerting so much energy defensively. And the Lakers just took advantage of them. So I think that's where experience came into play, and I think it'll be a quick death.
So
throughout this series.
I want to give a quick shout out, man, to the Lakers bench because they were spectacular last night as well because everybody was hitting buckets. To your point, when I think they were down maybe like 13, 14 in the first quarter. And then LeBron went to take his normal break in the first quarter, and then the bench really was what brought them back because everybody was just on point, man.
Yeah, the playoff Rondo hit the first 3, brought them within, if I'm not mistaken, like No, 10 or something.
I think Rondo hit like the first 2 buckets, and then KCP hit.
KCP, yeah. Rondo hit that first one. Then KCP hit 2 threes to bring him within 7 because they were down, like you said, 13. And after that, it was pretty much no fucking looking back. Braun came in and was like, all right, I'll take it from here. And it's just been, Danny hit a couple sneakers in that was not expected. And after that, like you said, Chad, they instead of switching out to match their game, playing small ball, they're like, you know what? Let's just leave these bigs in and keep rocking. You forgot they got bigs that can shoot, and AD did that. He hit, I think, 2 threes, if I'm not mistaken. And if not, they had to double up on Braun. And when they doubled up on Braun, AD in the hole, like, okay, let me get that. Dunking, just that easy. So he had a lot of inside points on the first half as well. So it was like every time they tried to switch something, because Miami tried too many tricks too fast. Like, they tried their zone too fast. They tried to double up on LeBron too fast. So they went maybe like 3 possessions on the double. That didn't work for LeBron. Then he tried double AD 3 possessions. That didn't work. Then he tried the zone. That didn't work. But they tried everything all within 2 quarters. Like, you showed your whole fucking hand already. Like, come on now. But I understand you were desperate. They were desperate, so they were trying everything, but they tried it too soon. And I would have thought it would have been a better run because, again, Spo being, a coach of LeBron for 4 years, I thought he would have had a better idea of how to gauge that. But hey,
I thought that the grit of the Miami Heat, and I thought that their willingness to always fight, because they've always been fighting. That's the reason why they even defeated the Milwaukee Bucks and made it through the Eastern Conference Finals. I thought it would have made it a better challenge.
You gotta understand that grit. That grit is there.
Only gonna get you so far.
You gotta understand. They got AD.
Exactly.
AD is like that.
Exactly.
AD is like that. That piece of the Lakers that's unguardable.
Yeah.
And
you put Bam on him. He's too young. He's too inexperienced. He's gonna get exposed. You put Crowder on him.
Yeah.
We just gonna dump it down and go over the top. You high screen and roll and you get a switch. I'm gonna shoot over you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think he's the cheat code right now.
And you could tell.
I think they got to. The Lakers got to continue to play through him.
You could tell when Tyler Hero was trying to drive to the hole, or when Tyler Hero even was on the floor, he was like, "Oh shit, that's AD."
Yeah,
like you could tell that shit looking in his face.
Slick,
like
starstruck, and you know what I mean.
They kind of starstruck.
Yeah.
Like even Jimmy said it in his press conference for after winning the conference finals. He was like, we still got to get through LeBron and the Lake show. Like he's still a fan. I mean, although he's been on the same stage as him, you got to remember they played in the fucking in the playoffs back when him and D Rose played together, and LeBron and them took them out. Like he's seen LeBron and been taken by LeBron.
Lockdown D Rose
LeBron
himself.
beat him in Minnesota with a couple buzzer beaters. Like he's seen this man on so many different stages. You know what I'm saying? Work his ass out. So it's like, we still got to beat LeBron and the fucking Lakers. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just LeBron.
Yeah.
He actually has a team this time. He got the fucking Monstars with him.
So I actually had, before, this series started, I had the Lakers in 6.
You dropping it?
I'm dropping it now because one, and I think to Chad's point, it's going to be a quick death. One, not only because they're just too big. 2, they're also hurt. I think Gordon Dragic just had a tear or something like that, some type of tear that might take him out for the series.
Plantar fasciitis tear, yeah.
And then, what's his name? Bam has had some shoulder or wrist injury or something like that that's messing him up.
What the fuck was he thinking bumping up against Howard big ass like that, throwing his whole hurt shoulder into big ass Howard like that?
Yeah, and Jimmy Bucket got like a rolled wrist. I mean, a rolled ankle, so they're hurt.
Yeah,
so
he fought through it. Go ahead, I'm sorry, Chad.
Yeah, but honestly, you saw the look of defeat on that face.
Of course, yeah. It just reminded me of the Golden State and Toronto series. You know what I'm saying? But there's only game 1. But you remember how they were just getting hurt left and right. And you're like, damn, we're about to watch this happen. These motherfuckers is crumbling, and Golden State went down. So it's just happening early. But I still got.
I got it in 5 now.
I mean, see, that's
I'm gonna give them one game just because I feel like the Lakers are gonna do what they want to do and just have that one little lazy game. But then I feel like LeBron gonna be like, fuck it. Let's go ahead and just wrap this shit up.
I feel you.
And plus the NBA got to get their money.
That's true enough, man. But I was looking at it from this standpoint. Jordan's never swept anybody in the finals.
That's a good point. He didn't do the Jazz. I thought he did the Jazz the second time.
7-6.
No, the first time.
He's always gone six, 6 or 7 in every
7 to
final.
6. Yep.
And you know that
You know.
LeBron's whole thing right now is that he got to make sure he leave it for his legacy. So not even just a championship that he wants. So
Yeah.
if he's the first person, if Jordan never swept anybody in the finals and he sweeps somebody in the
They're
finals,
gonna throw him easily. That's another point towards GOAT talk.
I mean, he already the GOAT.
Here you go. Okay. But I think yeah, y'all made some great points, man. I mean, I said the same in 5, but I said that the whole series. I said Lakers are doing gentleman sweep throughout the whole thing, the whole playoffs
Yeah, man.
and finals.
I think with a healthy Heat team, it's 5 or 6. You know, but you can't depend on youth and inexperience to get you through one game right now.
Agreed.
You saw what happened after the first quarter. I don't think Tyler Hero scored more than 3 to 4 points.
And I don't even think Duncan did anything last night. Did Duncan even get a point last night?
He missed a couple
Duncan
threes.
Robinson was like 0 for 3.
Yeah.
So like I said, youth and inexperience. If you're gonna rely on none, to get you, 18 to 20, that's fine. We're gonna let him get his. But what you saw last night, he doesn't create for anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real.
This is true. Role
So
player.
Jimmy's an ISO player. Jimmy's all about grit and gut. He's gonna go out there and grind, but he's not out there to make anybody else better on the court.
Yeah.
He makes people better through his toughness.
Yeah, I agree with that. So let me ask you this question then. So with this being LeBron's, I guess possible 4th NBA championship on this run, do you think that LeBron would get the Finals MVP, or do you think that AD would get the Finals MVP?
Nah, AD would get it. But what you gotta understand, that's an encourager. That's an encourager for AD to stay in LA. You gotta understand, he's a free agent after the season.
Yep.
So if Bron understand, he's at a point of career. All that doesn't mean anything anymore.
You're right.
He'll get a ring. If he get a ring, that's an encourager for AD to go ahead and stay. I'm gonna let AD get this one.
I think he made a statement. I think he made a statement about saying that he's gonna stay with LeBron for the 4, 5, however many he could get with LeBron. I think he made a statement like that either yesterday or the day before. But yeah, I agree with you.
I don't know if I agree with that. I actually think that because we didn't even speak about that. I think because of that whole Giannis MVP chip, he wants to fill the MVP even if it's in the finals. I think he'll want the MVP finals. Even though AD, depend on the game, I think it's going to come down to how that last game is played, because they've both been doing awesome. But we know, AD is the one that's fucking bringing us home every.
Is it though? Because Bron's still averaging damn near a triple double.
Facts, but I mean, when it comes to I just think AD's the more. Without AD, they don't win like that. Period. Without Braun, I think they can probably pull it off. And not even
without Braun, no.
Well,
no,
not without Braun. You're right. I don't know if I could even say that one out loud.
Not without Braun.
I just think that Braun wants the MVP. Even if he gives it to AD, I think he wants it pretty bad.
Okay, all right.
Especially
I think every alpha male would want it.
Mm-hmm.
However, right now, how does that increase his resume?
Yeah, you're right. Because you got to remember, like the Shaq and Kobe era. Didn't Shaq get all 3 of the ones that they got?
Yeah.
Shaq got all 3 Finals MVP with Kobe.
Tell me this: would you rather have an MVP, a Finals MVP, or would you rather go ahead and say, you know what, I ended my career having 4 Finals MVPs and having 6 NBA champions, or 5 MVP, or 6 NBA champions? Because if he wins this year, that's 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they have the potential to go get another free agent and to possibly compete to get 2 more.
I see what you're saying. So basically, if you could get more rings and just basically have these 3 MVP championships,
he would damn sure want to try to get closer to that rings. 6 than he cares about a Finals MVP. You're right, because that 6 is important to him. So I don't care what they say.
I'm not sure if y'all heard or not, but the Clippers thinking about sending Paul George to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
Wow.
For Spencer Dinwiddie and the other young kid that played ball at Michigan.
Yeah. So since we're talking about it,
that's a possibility.
Since we're talking about the Clippers right now, since we might as well, you already predicted the Lakers in 4. You think it's going to be a sweep. Anwar says 5. So let's go ahead and talk about the Clippers and the announcement of Doc Rivers being I guess what they said, out of LA,
Separating, yeah,
but a mutual
parting
agreement of them
ways.
departing ways. However, recently they just made the announcement earlier today that he's expected to sign with the 76ers. What are your thoughts on one, him being released from the Clippers, two, him signing to the 76ers?
I mean, great signing by the 76ers, but
Hmm.
I think this was it's a players' league, and Doc is a players' coach.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, he got to hold his players accountable. You know, and I think that he failed to do that. The fact that you got superstars,
And they
you
didn't
know,
deliver.
look, yeah, they didn't deliver. You got to hold them accountable. You got to hold them accountable in game. You got to check their egos and whatnot. So, I just think that's what he kind of treaded softly on that. Kawhi Leonard is not a free agent after this year.
No.
So he needs to get the same constructive criticism, as what that you used to give Paul Pierce, KG, Rondo. I understand it's a new era of players, and they sensitive about their egos, but you're a player's coach. They're gonna respect you regardless.
Yeah.
So you got to be You got to be transparent with them in game, after game, post game. Send them a couple of subliminal messages, piss them off. But you got to find a different way to fire up your players. And I just think Doc, he's kind of succumbed to the new era of these sensitive players. And not, when it comes to the media as well as being direct with them. They got to know their expectations.
So I like the signing for him with the 76ers. However, I still think that he's just going to be in the same situation because I don't think that he's going to get anywhere further than the conference finals for the next 2-3 years at least.
I think that I agree totally, but I think that if he gets Sixers to the conference finals next year, then that's it's still a plus for him. You know what I mean? Just because they didn't get there this time. You know what I mean? So it's still like, oh, you went over there, you brought that team a step further because we know in the West, if Braun and AD are staying together, he might as well, he was gonna get fired if not this year, the next year. Shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you, Chad, for joining
He's
us,
definitely
man.
gonna bring a nice identity to the Sixers.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that.
He got to hold them players accountable. You got to hold them Embiid accountable. You got to hold Ben Simmons accountable. Ben Simmons, we got to work on your game this summer, young brother.
Yeah.
You got to get this jump shot.
Do you think that they're gonna release Ben Simmons? I think that's kind of the talk that's going around as well. That they're either gonna release Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid.
What happened?
I said I think that's kind of the talk that's going around that they're gonna either release Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid. Do you think that's gonna be a decision that's gonna take place, or do you think that's gonna be something that's just kind of on the back burner?
I mean, I like the two together. They just got to learn how. They just got to learn how to win down the stretch. Unfortunately, injuries hurt them this year. So
yeah.
All right, my brother.
I think Ben Simmons played with a chip on his shoulder this year. But he got hurt.
Yeah. All right, my brother. Well, I appreciate you joining us, man. I appreciate you just giving us, your expertise on this NBA stuff because we know that Anwar don't know shit.
Whatever. But it's always good to hear from you, man.
Hey, so when y'all gonna talk football?
We did a little bit, but it wasn't enough to talk about, I guess, right now. So,
I mean,
if you want to be on the next one, hey, say less.
Who you trying to talk about? The Dolphins and Fitzpatrick?
Look, man. I didn't say involve me when we talk about football. I just asked when are y'all gonna talk?
We talked about it a little bit this episode, so I mean, make sure you tune in, bro. We talked about it this episode, and then we gonna get back on it.
Yeah,
we just curious about how the fuck this shit even gonna keep going on with everything that's happening with the COVID situation, bro. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
All right, let me get back to study.
All right, my brother. I appreciate you, my brother.
We appreciate that for real.
Tell the wife and kids I said I love them, man.
Will do.
All right, bro.
All right. So y'all heard that, that was our NBA analyst, pro analyst. I'm somewhat of an analyst, but I do give it to Chad. He breaks it down just a tad bit better than I do. Man, but no. I understand. We both speak some similar language, you know what I mean? But it's always good to hear his perspective because he'll really give you some insight on some real facts and some details of the past, things that I may not be able to dig up. But definitely thank you, Chad, for pulling up on us.
Yeah,
Locker
man.
Room Banter podcast show. We needed that.
Yeah, man. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. I think
Facts.
we doing 30 minutes into the sports. We lost all the ladies, man. So.
They lost the ladies. Don't worry, we gonna get the ladies back.
We gonna get
Episode
y'all
50
back,
is
man. We gonna
special.
get y'all back,
I
man.
feel it. Episode 50 is gonna be special for y'all.
All right, man. So do we have anything that we need to run down? Shows or movies or anything?
Nah, just shout out to you for pointing me in the direction of that Project Power with Jamie Foxx. That was a pretty dope movie. I ain't gonna lie.
I got something else for you that you just got to check out.
Go ahead and tell me because I got an off day.
Cobra Kai on Netflix.
It's 2 seasons in, right?
It's 2 seasons in on
everybody
Netflix.
talking
It
about
dropped,
it.
but they dropped the 2 seasons back to back around the same time. Sometimes during
been
quarantine. It's basically the Karate Kid 30 years later.
Yeah. That's
And
what I
shit
remember
hard as
seeing.
fuck.
I remember looking at this a couple years ago when I seen it on YouTube, and I'm like, "This
Yeah,
ain't no
because that's
real
initially what they
trailer.
did. That's initially what
Yeah.
they did. They dropped it on YouTube Red, and it was initially on YouTube Red, but then Netflix bought it out, and they dropped the 2 seasons
Yeah,
together.
but it's a top 10 right now.
It's worth it. Watch it.
I'm gonna catch it. Don't
And it's
worry.
only 30 minutes episodes. I thought it was like our episodes because it's just that good, and I was just that into it.
Yeah.
But it's 30 minutes episodes.
Speaking of top 10, well, I don't know if this made top 10. I think it did. This random ass show, if you haven't seen it already, Sneakerheads.
I haven't.
Sneakerheads got King Batch and I forgot the little light skinned dude name, but it's more or less just what it sounds like. It's a show about a guy who's pretty much groomed past the sneakerhead stage, but his man's King Batch keep trying to bring him back in. And if anyone knows about the sneakerhead life, and I promise you I'm no expert, but I do know a little bit about it. It could be an addictive thing, and it's something that you have to invest
Shout
a
out to
lot
Andy
of.
and my cousin Kevin.
They on that? Oh yeah! Shout out to my boy Khalid, Dante's
too.
brother. They sneakerheads.
Taquan, Chad, Sean.
Bruh. When I tell you, but this is like the traveling sneakerheads. They really like try to move from mall to mall, flipping shoes. It's the resale game, more or less.
Okay, I see.
So that part of the sneakerhead, not just the collecting, but the resale and whatever. But I'm about 5 episodes in. They're like 25 minutes, so it's a perfectly quick watch. But it's amusing as so far. Just a quick shout out to that little show because it's kind of got my little head watching that shit right now. So
Yeah, definitely. And also as well, one of the popular shows that's kind of going on that a lot of people are talking about is Ratchet on Netflix.
Ratchet.
I haven't watched it yet, but I keep hearing great reviews about it. So that's kind of my plans to watch this weekend.
What's that? What's up with that P Valley shit?
I've told you about P Valley.
I know, but I just seen a couple
You need
people,
to watch
couple
P-Valley,
women
bro.
post about it.
You need to watch P-Valley.
I'm gonna see what this P Valley is about. That's all I
You need to
kept
watch
seeing.
P-Valley.
How many seasons for that? Do you know?
It's only one season. I think it's maybe 10 episodes, but you need to watch it. It's good, bro.
I'm
It's
gonna
weird
have
as
some-
fuck. It's weird as fuck. Don't get it twisted,
Uh-huh.
but it's good. It's
Okay,
good.
because I'm gonna have a little more time.
And
during
yes,
the
and
day.
they have some homosexual scenes in it. Do not be
shit.
disturbed, but it's good.
Oh shit.
And honestly, though, I was just having a conversation about this earlier today with somebody. And it seems like every show that's on TV, no matter what show it is, has some type of homosexual scene in it.
Yeah, I think it's a norm. I think it's a must at this point. I think
Yeah, it's kinda
directors,
weird.
I think whoever's putting these shows together are making sure they make it a thing that they put these scenes in there. I remember watching Empire for the first time and they forced it in there. And now it became every scene damn near. How to Get Away with Murder, however that show's called. They had that shit, but I don't know. Anyway.
Anyways, man, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up and
Facts.
shut this thing down. We've been on long enough.
Most deaf. So yeah, go ahead and get your boy. Let me get y'all my social media. I have yet to jump back on Facebook. I think I might make an appearance this week. It's been a year and 3 months, but I'm just might check on it for other reasons, not just to socialize, but for other reasons. But anyway, you can find me on Instagram. In the meantime, at AnwarW_357. It's ANWAR, the letter W _357. And Squared Fitness is my training Instagram, where I'm actually going to take clients starting this week. I know we're going into the fall winter season, but I got a few folks lined up, and we're trying to make a movement there too. So support your boy on that. If you need anything on a personal training nutrition tip, please hit your boy in a DM. Squared Fitness. Watts, talk to him.
Yeah, you already know who it is, man. This your boy Watts. You can hit me up on Instagram and Twitter at Watts4. That is WATTS4. And you can hit up the Locker Room Banter podcast crew on Instagram and Twitter at LRBANTER407. That's the Locker Room Banter podcast crew on both Instagram and Twitter, and the Locker Room Banter podcast show on Facebook from the Locker Room Banter podcast crew.
We out. Listen twice.
Nope.
Oh no, I got.